And hello. We're here. Hi, hello. We're Adventures in Lollygagging. You might have seen us before in previous Thursdays over the past month and a half. We are starting a brand new episode tonight, playing some Zweihander RPG, Grim and Perilous Studio. I don't know. I'm just saying words right now because I'm on coffee and I forget how to play. And I've done so many things wrong in the past 5 seconds. Almost accidentally tweeted out the Twitch key. That could have been awful. Good times. So it's good that you've given me this responsibility, Matt, if you're still in the channel. Let's see. Hi. Everyone's looking at their character sheets because three of these people in this on this screen here are starting are starting brand new characters. New show. That's right. Hello. So let's see. And then Melissa is carrying over and she's in the wrong place because that happens. Like I said, I forget how to do everything. I don't know what's going on tonight. I'll fix that as they go around and say hello to everybody. Uh, Tonight, the part of Melissa is going to be played by Long Lee, and the part of Long Lee is going to be played by Melissa. I don't know how that happened.
Whoa, that's a twist. I wasn't
I
ready
don't
for.
have it. It was
Right?
I had it right, and then I hit the starting screen, and then I come out of the starting screen, and you guys did something. Okay, I'll fix that in a
It's
minute
the
as everyone
gremlins.
does intros. I'm stalling as people hop into channel. I'm stalling as my players look at their new stuff. I'm stalling. Is what's going on because we're all terrified of starting a new game. So our last game, Ailing Isle, was a little bit of like a slow burning mystery where everything was just going awful. This is going to be a completely different kind of game. At least that's my hope. I want to deal with exploration a little bit more than we had because we were kind of confined to a singular island. That's not going to be the case this time. And also, we're going to deal with different kind of horror. We're going to do it's going to be a little bit more action oriented. So we're going to go that route. Before I have everyone introduce their characters, let's just go through and plug a few things. So we play a variety of games. We play Zweihander not just here on the stream, but we also play it in a podcast that drops every Monday. It's an ongoing podcast. We're coming up on our year anniversary, which is pretty crazy since we started recording that. We're really, really close to that. We're like 40 something episodes in. And that is an ongoing saga called A Call to Ruin. And it drops anywhere you get podcasts every Monday, usually around 9 a.m. Central Time-ish, something like that. So you can catch that anywhere you want. We also play on our own Twitch channel, twitch.tv/the Lollygaggers. We play two other games on Fridays or Saturdays. This week it's going to be Saturday. We play Mutant Year Zero, which is a post-apocalyptic setting, but we play the Gen Lab Alpha version, where everyone's a mutant animal fighting in a resistance. And then on Mondays, we just started this up, but it's so much fun. Melissa and I and Matt from Grim and Perilous and Chuck and some of the other folks from Defenders of Cobalt, we all are playing in Heart, the City Beneath, which is on our channel again. And so that's Monday nights, so some good stuff. So with that out of the way, hopefully everyone has looked at the compendium and tried to remember stuff because the compendium is accessible now on Roll20. Let's do a little roll around the horn here. We'll start with Justin. So this is what I want you to tell us. All right, I wrote this down. I want to know what are your professions, right? Ancestry, those are important. But then give me a striking detail. Doesn't have to be visual, it could be anything. What's a striking detail people often notice about you? So starting with Justin, and then we'll work our way around.
All right, so my name is Sylvester Biggums. All right, I'm a 65-year-old human male my professions are I'm a trapper and a badlander. I would say the most striking thing people notice about me is that I have, I'm very disheveled because I'm an old trapper. I'd like to kind of associate him with an old prospector type of look, you know? Like, there's gold in them hills, that type of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
biggest thing is I got one milky eye with a nice scar down
Do you?
the middle of it. So
Did you add that little detail yourself, or did you roll that randomly with your
I did that
draw?
myself.
Okay.
So
What kind of drawbacks did you get? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Well, let's look at our old character sheet really quick because I'm pretty sure we typed it in. So
Yeah.
I'm looking it up. You are debt ridden. It's
Yeah.
really funny because you are an aristocrat, old codger, who I'm using for like if we ever get into battle screens, I'm using the image of the beggar from the core book. If you all are familiar with the core book, that what that means is basically you flip to fail any test that involves money or bartering or trying to get a good deal, anything like that. Okay.
I'm also. I think it's. I enjoy the silence too. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's one of your professional trappings. That's
yeah,
Badlander, maybe. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So like,
Enjoy the science.
so basically, I'm really bad with fellowship rolls.
Yeah,
That's basically how it goes.
yeah. I
So
mean, that's true in real life too. To be honest, no one really cares for you, like I do, Justin. Okay, so are you gonna stick with that? There's gold in them there hills. Or are you gonna do like a different voice?
that's gonna be what it's gonna be this whole time.
It's okay.
See how long it lasts.
We're gonna get my Gantu Prabova. My favorite voice is okay. Now we're gonna head down to Ashley for her to tell us about her new character. Okay.
I got all these mystery jars.
We should also work on our Matthew McConaughey and just use that.
All right,
If you haven't,
all right.
yeah, if you haven't picked up on it, there's gonna be sort of a Southern Gothic flavor to this particular campaign. Go ahead, Ashley.
All right, I'm playing Nellie. She is a condottiere and a man at arms.
Mm-hmm.
So I am hoping to be our tank. Hoping. My dooming is I'm gonna die trying to save someone I love. So first I'm looking for someone to love.
Aren't we all?
So maybe that's how I'll save myself. My only like distinguishing mark is I'm jaundiced. I got a really jaundiced complexion.
Okay.
And then I had silver eyes and like senna colored hair. I'm like all over the place.
Yeah, you are all over the map. Were you also an aristocrat? We had like 2 or 3 aristocrats. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what happened here.
It's too bad, like none of us were like we should have been cats, so we could have been the aristocats.
Oh. All right, guys, we're gonna have to pause the podcast and restart it really quick, or not the podcast, the stream, and restart it really quick because that's really good. I like that. The Aristocats. I'm writing that down for later. Okay. All right. So have you settled on a voice? Is that your voice?
No,
I want to stress.
Whip it out in stream.
I want to stress that there's no pressure to do voices, and you don't have to do a Southern voice. But I mean, I'm gonna be doing a few of them.
I had a couple voices. Maybe y'all can vote on which one you like. Okay. But I've been listening to Southern stuff, so now it's kind of slowly eking out of me. But I did have a very kind of creepy little girl voice.
No, don't do that one. Don't do that one. No. I don't like that one. That reminds me too much of when we played Damned on stream and not on stream, on Steam, and you would no, I don't like that one.
And then the other one was very much Mother Russia.
Yeah, then I would start doing my Big Pharma voice and be like, Big Pharma, suddenly in Zweihander, this is crazy. I don't understand. So
I was listening to that when I was driving home, so that's why I had Mother Russia in my brain.
All right. So let's go over to Long Lee. We just lost Ashley. Video. Man, we're having all sorts of there we go. We're back. Okay. Go ahead there, Long Lee. Same questions.
Right. I'll be playing Grant's Bobbleton. He's a gnome, and he's dark-skinned, dark hair, dark eyes. He's just a little turd.
Okay.
He's corpulent as well, so wondering.
I think if I recall, we have 3 corpulent people in this group now.
Also an aristocrat, so there's another 3.
There's okay, so we've got 3 aristocrats, 3 corpulent folk, and then we've got we got Big Sis, who was a burger or lowborn. I don't think we have any lowborn folk. That's interesting.
I'm a lowborn this time. I'm
okay.
Lowborn.
Okay. Oh, you are lowborn? Okay.
And I'm also a caster, so I know some magics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was interested in the fact that you went Infernal Saboteur, which is Prince.
Oh yeah, for professions. Prince of Change.
Yeah, Prince of Change features fairly regularly in our podcast show, and in our first stream, Ailing Isle, that we did on this channel, it was Prince of Decay. Maybe there'll be a prince that shows up in this one. We'll see. Who knows? There's only 2 left. Well, 3 if you count the outsider. Okay, and you're just like a big. You said you're just a big turd. Is that what you said?
That's what I look like. Yeah.
I'm quite literally envisioning just a turd walking around with glasses and saying, "Hello." So, what anime character is this name inspired by?
It's just another spellcaster from a Tales game.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. All right, then we're going to go over to Melissa, but before Melissa explains, the other night on the stream, when we were doing Heart, Melissa dropped a y'all out of nowhere
I did.
that I was like, I don't know who this woman is. I've known her for 20 years. I don't know what the hell happened. I've never heard anything like that. It's like, y'all going to see something. I'm like, what is this? And so I don't know if you're just channeling and getting ready for this, but it doesn't make sense because Big Sis, whatever. So tell us about Big Sis.
Okay, so Big Sis was the character that I actually brought out in the Ailing Isle, and she did survive, and I'm bringing her back for this one. So in terms of features, she is 8'8", 614 pounds. She is an ogre. I probably should have started with that. She also has a drawback, which I think I kind of forgot to do much with in the first campaign. She's got a bad ticker. So she is technically supposed to gain corruption when she fails stress, fear, and terror.
Okay.
That's her drawback. As a result of everything that happened in the first campaign, she also has clawing obsession. So that's
explain
her,
that. Go ahead and explain it.
Okay, so essentially, while I'd ignore 2 or 3 skill ranks on the peril condition track, those afflicted by this automatically fail all awareness and resolve tests. But you can also...
That's going to have a wonderful combo with your bad ticker, because those resolve tests usually result in stress, fear.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yep. The flip side of that is that I can reroll skill tests twice when using fortune points.
Okay.
But I also gain corruption when I do that as well.
Okay. Good deal. I feel like we have to start now. I'm a little, yeah. I always get very anxious when we begin a new story. So here it goes. This particular adventure is called the Unsettled Stem. We play in a game world. We've been playing a couple different campaigns and adventures in like our kind of running game world that we port from system to system just to keep it consistent for us, at least. You don't need to know anything about that one, but I'll tell you a little bit. The Unsettled Stem, a couple people, Melissa and Long, have been vaguely in this area, but the basic premise of this is like southern, whereas our Ailing Isle game was like western and our podcast game is northern. We're kind of in the southern area. And the Unsettled Stem refers to a huge chunk of land in a southern peninsula that is kind of caught between 2 major cities, one that has kind of fallen because of recent events, and another that is the capital of the country that we play in. And this is it's called Unsettled because it has been notoriously difficult for any long-term settlements to stay here, whether it's cursed or just bad luck or bad timing, something like that. It has a tendency to not hold down much in the way of cities and towns and hamlets and things like that, to the point where it has become somewhat of a kind of a no-fly zone in a way, where the governments and the powers that be that don't really bother to go in there too much. Tax collectors, when they're sent, if they come back at all, they usually don't come back with anything good, and that seems to be a fairly decent place for variety of criminal elements and people who want to be free to hang out. And so it has developed into a somewhat nomadic, almost like gypsy-like caravan type culture. And that's what we're going to be diving into tonight. So with that kind of quick background in mind, we should go ahead and get started. Let's see. Should I put some music on to freak out Ashley?
Of course.
I don't know. Let's see what we got. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, I definitely should put some music on to freak out Ashley. So, before I hit play, let me set the scene for you. It's nighttime. You all have been on a wagon train. 3 different carriages or stagecoaches, wagons, have been traveling southward from Fort Pinement, which is a military fort north of the Stem. sort of the last remaining bastions of civilization before you get into this huge tract of land. You've been traveling southward because you're trying to get through the stem to the next, to the kind of the remaining villages and such on the southern parts of the peninsula, and it is nighttime. You are about halfway through the land. You are nestled deep within it. You have a variety of other people who are also on this wagon train. Some of whom are settlers, some of whom are traders for the locals that live, the various clans and families that live within the stem. Some of you might be working for them. You can figure that out as we go. Might be working for some of them, protection duties, guide duties, anything like that. Some of you just might be trying to hide out from the law because this is a great place to do so. Whatever your reason might be for being on this wagon is something for you all to figure out as we go. But you are nonetheless on it. And the night itself is very, very warm. It is springtime in the Unsettled stem. The bushes are blooming with flowers. The trees are full and green. And although during the daytime that might make for a gorgeous sight, at night it makes it for a very dark, dark path because the road itself is somewhat overgrown. Now, sometime within the last few minutes or so, everyone on the wagon train and the various different carts, we'll say all four of you, are probably split between the two of you are probably, actually no, we can say all four of you are on a single wagon. That's fine. With probably one or two other NPCs. Sometime within the last few minutes, noises were heard off to the east and to the west of the road. Sounds of what seem like distant, savage animals growling, a wolf pack, something like that. And then there was the sound of a horn. And as we zoom the camera in, we're coming down bird's eye view, looking at these three wagons, one after the other, in relatively close proximity, moving incredibly fast, dangerously fast in the dark, with little torches and lanterns held by people in front of the drivers and such. And the dray horses are doing their best to kind of clop over this land in the dark. And the reason they're going super fast is because from the east and the west side of the road, waves and waves of these feral-like creatures have started to descend upon all these wagons. As the camera zooms in closer and closer, we see that there's at least a dozen of these that are in the road, that are clinging to some of the wagons, a few of which have crawled up on top of one of the horses and the train and the wagon train in the back, the wagon in the back. And in your middle wagon, you can see as the old Kaji-looking driver turns back to shout at the four of you, points to the fact that there's clinging to the sides. These feral creatures are hanging there, and they're tearing through some of the canvas lining, allowing now access to those that are traveling in the pack. As he starts to shout, "Help! Come on! You gotta do so!" You see a giant metal-covered hand just reach out of nowhere and glinting with torchlight, scratches him across the face, and you can see he has this huge, like Wolverine-like claw. And then he screams and is pulled out of the seat entirely. And suddenly your wagon has no driver, and you are clopping around. And I would like all of you to go ahead and roll initiative. I told you we were starting with a bang tonight.
Alrighty.
I never do this. That's why I said this is going to go terribly. So while you all are doing that, I will get our music up.
And my rolls
generally good rolls.
Okay. Actually, you popped it twice.
Wow.
Hello. My mouse is clicking
Brianna.
Twice, so we can go with the first one. Or
okay,
whatever.
That's fine. All right. I think that's what locked in anyway. All right. Well, welcome to the stream. Okay, we just started up. Let me get our music up a little higher. There we go. Hopefully this will freak Ashley out. All right, so all of you are scattered around the back of this bumpy wagon train. You see this bumpy wagon. You see all sorts of canvas being stripped. You see the outside the air has started to come in. You can see crawling. There's like someone who's clinging with a claw to the back tailgate of this wagon. Behind you, you can see amidst the lantern light and the torch light being held by the drivers behind. You can see the wagon behind you. There's dray horses that are slowly being crawled upon by these creatures, whatever they are. You don't have a very good view of the wagon in front of you. So the driver has been yanked down. No one is driving. There's a feral creature that's crawling up the back tailgate, hops into the back of the wagon, and you can see others that are climbing up the sides of your wagon. And the first up to do something is going to be Sylvester. What do you want to do?
I wanted to take aim.
Okay.
With my hand cannon and try to blow this sucker's head right off his shoulder.
We'll say it was probably loaded once the danger started popping. I would give you credit for that. So you probably loaded it up outside of initiative. Now you all see him pull out this relatively shiny looking gun glinting in the torchlight. You take aim, you get your +10, and now you want to go ahead and take a shot. Go ahead.
It's simple range, right?
No, it's all plugged in. Just hit the button next to your weapon. It's actually.
Oh yeah.
It's actually martial range, which you should have hopefully taken a point in.
Fancy martial range.
Kablam!
Okay, so as this creature crawls up and people are screaming, you've got like a few other travelers who aren't necessarily decked out in weaponry. They're just regular folk. They're merchants. They're pioneers, whatever they might be. They're kind of cowering a little bit more, screaming for help. But then this old southern gentleman stands up, teeth missing, beard going off in different direction, bird flying out of it, trying to find safety.
I got it to the wrong wagon.
Oh no. Oh
Oh, it's gonna be the greatest thing ever.
Oh god, I'm gonna have to kill him so fast. Like, it's the first scene he's gone. So this burst comes out and makes the whole entire wagon suddenly stink up with some sort of smoke, and you see this creature just completely get shot and get pushed back against the tailgate, taking 9 damage, but is nonetheless still standing.
I'll bank the last one, I guess.
All right, Big Sis.
Okay.
Again, I want to point out there is no one driving the wagon.
Yes. Big Sis is considering whether she is the best physique to be climbing up there first. So she's gonna go stabby.
All right, so you're gonna move in the direction of the character that was just shot. This one.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm gonna spend 1 AP to move. I'm going to spend another AP to take aim, and I'm going to attack it with my scythe.
Okay, go ahead.
And succeed.
Is the scythe a 2-handed weapon or a 1-handed weapon? I was just curious.
2.
Boy, man, there's not a ton of room back here, but that's all right.
It's like, hey, tink.
You
It was
accidentally.
either that or a dirk. It was either scythe or dirk.
You accidentally cut off Longley's head while you were at it. Like, oh, sorry. Okay, so your damage was 9. So you're gonna see. So this thing has now gone down 2 stages. So,
Can I use the powerful quality of that to shove him? Because it says to shove out of the engagement.
Absolutely. And so as you come in and swing with the scythe, you can see that not only is this creature seeming to like limp, drop its shoulder down from a gunshot wound, but you come up and you take it in the other shoulder, and while it's reeling, you push it out the back of the wagon. You watch as it flies over the back tailgate, flops around a bit, and then some of the dray horses in the wagon behind just trample entirely over it. Beautiful.
I'm imagining the scythe just kind of like picked it up and kind of dropped it over. So I like how this went.
All right. Okay, so there's still 2 more that are climbing up the sides. There's still no one driving the wagon, and it is now Grant's turn.
All right, while they're all flailing at nothings and hitting our wagons, I'm gonna scurry on in front and try to get a handle on these horses.
Okay, so you climb up and squeeze through the tear in the fabric, and you reach for the reins that are still there. What I would like you to do, if you could please, is roll a coordination test. We're going to treat this as routine to try to keep your balance as you're reaching to try and grab the reins. If you crit fail, you're going down. Okay. So you
Didn't quite get it.
So you reach out. Don't forget we have fortune. You reach out and you can't quite seem to get those reins firmly in hand. And so as you're kind of clinging, you can see that a creature is clinging to the bottom, the undercarriage of this wagon, slowly crawling up towards you and swats at your hand as you go reaching for the reins. You still have, we'll say, another 2 AP if you like to do stuff.
We'll just try and drive the wagon if that
Okay.
costs something.
Okay, so then we'll say you, as you're getting swiped at when you're reaching for it, go ahead and roll a drive check to see if you can keep the horses from veering as they're starting to veer a little bit off the path. Standard's fine.
Thanks for trying to keep us upright so we don't go tumbling down.
Hey,
Trying to
Not
keep
good.
us upright.
All right, so you'll take 10 points of physical peril as when you reach and grab the reins, ignoring the creature that's underneath you, you grab them, you can feel a sudden jerk as your arm is effectively pulled almost out of its socket. You manage to cling and hold on and not fall off, but you can see that the horses are already veering off to the left, and you're worried because you can see a bank coming up, and it might prove somewhat difficult. Okay. Then we're gonna move on to Nelly. Nelly.
Okay, so there's 2 more trying to get in there?
Yeah, you know that there's one on either side of the wagon. You can see the scrapes where they've kind of reached in with these clawed metallic hands and scraped down the canvas. And you know that it's just a matter of moments before they reach in.
Okay. I'm going to attack one, like with my mortuary sword.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna take aim or anything. I'm just gonna roll
Okay.
standard, right?
Yeah, if you're just doing no take aim, just do it standard.
And
Okay.
I hit, did 7.
So this thing's clinging to the side, just kind of hanging onto it. You track it by the glint of the fire of the torchlight and the lantern light that others
And
are
my weapon
holding.
is powerful, so it does knock it back.
And so as you swing and you swing down at its hands, one of its hands is kind of like, ow! And then you kind of carry your swing through, and it manages to slop down to the ground, kicking off to the side of the road. It stands up, and you can see as you blow past it and begins running and chasing after the wagon behind you. Do you have another AP or 2 left if you want to do anything else?
I have points in ride. Can I assist with the driving at all?
Ride, I think, is more for actually being on a horse, and drive is more for vehicles.
Okay. Then what I'm going to do then is I'm just gonna go to the other side where the other one is, and I'll have my shield out ready.
Okay, so you step over, you got your shield ready just in case something strange happens.
I'm gonna stand next to Big Sis.
Okay. All right, so the 2 of you are next to each other. Look out for her scythe. Okay, so then
It's got a big berth.
Then, what you see happens next is this creature that's crawling up the side that you're on does try to push into the wagon itself, and when it sees you standing there with your shield up, it's gonna scrape instead at you. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll an attack with its claws, just trying to kind of go after your hands to make a path through. And you can see that it does manage to get right through the canvas and swing at you. So you have 1 AP left if you want to try to use your shield to. This is on you, Nelly.
Yeah. Which one is it for?
You're parrying. You're parrying.
Oh, okay, got it.
So hit your parry button. Or yeah, there's a parry button.
And it's fast, so it's a -10.
Mm-hmm.
So challenging, and I'm blind. I'm sorry.
Okay.
17. Pass.
Nonetheless, this thing scrapes in at you, and you can hear the sound of kind of metal on like scraping across your shield itself, and you manage to push back the actual swing. It's still nonetheless going to use the rest of its movement to hop inside, stay in and engage, just kind of crawl and force its way inside. On the other side, as old codger Sylvester is sitting there looking at the gun now empty. Remember, you have to load 3 shots at once for that. You look behind you and you hear the sounds of hooves as you turn to look, and you can see a horse, this dark black horse with this big mane, and there's 2 figures covered in furs and skins, these strange headdresses, this glinting metal kind of coming off various patches on their clothing and their hands. And one of them is kind of holding onto the reins of the horse, and the other one is riding behind them. They're getting ready. You can see they have this flaming bottle in their hands, and they look like they're on the verge of throwing it into the wagon itself. In the front of the wagon, Grant, you see as the creature that was underneath, like on the other part of the undercarriage of the wagon, starts climbing up to sit next to you, and will go ahead and spend an AP to try to attack you as well. As you two are now sitting side by side, right next to each other. It's adorable. How's your night going? All right. So, do you have any AP left from your turn?
Did my moves cost 1 each, or did somebody pick
we'll
2?
say one to kind of squeeze through and get to the front. Then you attempted a drive test. Is there anything else? You didn't attack or anything. Okay, so you can roll since you moved up. You tried to squeeze through and grab the reins. That was an AP.
Yeah.
Then you tried to drive. That was an AP. So you have 1 AP left.
All right, I'll try and parry this.
Okay.
All
right.
-10 because it's fast.
Thank you, Melissa.
Okay. Oh, it's gonna be pretty bad. Let's see. Oh, we got it.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Some good rolls tonight. A lot of low rolls by all of us tonight. As you manage to, what do you have did you have a weapon out? What kind of weapon does Grant use?
He uses.
And did you have it out too? That's another good question.
Of course he did.
If he was trying to reach out and grab those reins and drive the car, I don't know. Hey, Party Wipe Games, thank you for the raid.
You're telling me you don't text and drive? Come on.
You're telling me that you don't like roll around, with your arm on the back of the. Okay.
I have a wooden shield, but I didn't say I pulled it out, so it's.
Okay, so why don't we say the damage goes through then? So
right.
14 points of damage. Thank you for being honest. Oh, by the way, our new Lollygagger emotes came through. I'm going to throw them out into the channel as everybody's raiding because they're fun. Yay. Thank you for the raid. It's good to see y'all. Look at all those things. Look at that. Look at that top hat, Justin. Remember that top hat? That's the old school top hat. Okay. Okay, so then we're going to come back around to you all. Again, there's one now up front that's fighting with Grants. There's one in the back that's next to Big Sis and Nelly. And then there's 2 on a horse, one of whom is getting ready to throw like a bottle bomb or something like that, like a Molotov, into the back of your wagon. Sylvester, it is your turn.
Are they close enough for me to disarm them with like my bullwhip?
You know what? Go for it. We'll just increase... Is that Brutus drinking? We'll just increase. Good old Brutus. You can. I'll say yes. You can try, but we'll call it. I'll increase the difficulty because you're both moving and you got a whip. I can say we can do that.
So this is off of disarm is coordination.
Yep. So how many ranks do you have in coordination?
Just 1.
Okay.
So I put this at challenging.
I'll put it at challenging. Just because you're trying to whip away the bottle bomb, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Okay, so we'll make it.
Can I use a thingy?
What do you mean a thingy?
Use a point.
Fortune point.
Fortune point.
The fortune point would be for a reroll if you fail.
Yeah.
Oh, you did fail. My bad. Sorry, I didn't see it. Yes, go ahead. Yes, absolutely.
Oh no!
So now you crit fail. Yay!
So you notice as you go to swing with your whip, you manage to land and hook something, but unfortunately, it seems to have hooked like the front part of the horse, like the pommel, and all of you in the back of the wagon watch as this old codger who just shot this guy in the back and screamed out, "You all don't know who you're messing with," or whatever it was, gets pulled out of the wagon and is now flopping around as he's being dragged by this horse and these two enemies who are still holding that bottle bomb.
It's like, hey!
And you could take 11 points of physical peril, and yeah, well, and so that's, you still got more AP. You got pulled out. You're out of the wagon now. You're being pulled along, hanging onto the whip. You got two more AP. What do you want to do?
Can I climb up the whip to the horse and
I like your thinking.
try to knock them off the horse?
Okay, I'll say.
What would that take? What would be the?
So you're looking for like a takedown, which is a perilous stunt. You've already done one perilous stunt. You can only do one. I'll say if you want, you can roll an athletics check to try to climb up the rope so that you're not flopping along the ground and taking damage.
Where are we putting this at?
I'll make this standard.
This is action packed by this old man.
This old Nick Nolte character, played by Nick Nolte.
Ah, hell!
Would you like to use a fortune point to re-roll that? Give him the old gem.
No. But
Okay.
can I use my other AP to do the same thing?
Attack the horse.
I'm gonna say you failed. You
The thing is, if I attack the horse and the horse goes down, then I'm down.
But you're not being dragged. I'm gonna say no, since you did make the roll and you failed. On your next turn, once situations possibly change, you can make the roll again. Unless you wanted to spend a fortune point.
I don't want to use 2 on one turn. That would be unfair.
Okay. So you got 1 AP left. What do you want to do?
Can I? I'm trying to think. I'm really trying to think. This time through, I'm really trying to think outside the box with everything I do. That's what I'm really trying to do.
Cool.
So I can't climb up there. Can I look to right myself, like to my feet?
You want to water ski? You're trying to water ski?
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
I want to just try and get my base back to me.
All right. Coordination test at hard. To try to freaking water ski.
I can picture this so well.
Stupid old man.
Damn
You
it!
failed.
You see
Oh, damn it!
He keeps. If anyone's watching this, he just looks like he's just flopping around. Oh my god! It's gonna be like at the end of this, it's gonna be like National Lampoons. We're just gonna find the whip. Does anyone know that reference? Am I too old? I'm too old. All right. Anyway, we're moving on to Big Sis. It is your turn. You saw Sylvester. I don't know how well you two know each other. You've been traveling for probably at least a day and a half together. So you might have talked or chatted or whatever, shared a meal, etc. He just gets yanked out, but you and Nellie are in the wagon. There's still 1 or 2 other NPCs in here that are cowering and hiding because they're not fighters. And this creature has hopped in, scraped away at Nellie. Nellie managed to block it, but there's still one in here. And we'll say this one's not going to be right up against the tailgate. This one will be more along the side. So
Okay, so I'd have to spend an AP to get to them.
you can do like a little maneuver around, I would say. That's fine. It's really tight quarters and everything, so.
Okay, not like officially a maneuver, just.
Yeah, like I said, telling you before, we're kind of hacking a couple different things. We're like hacking vehicular combat, we're hacking like regular combat, maybe even a chase sequence. Like it's all kind of getting blended.
I basically want to take aim either once or twice and attack it.
Okay.
With the scythe.
All right, so we'll say that you can go ahead and take aim twice and attack. I think everything's pretty tight, so you don't really have to move. I would say not moving means you probably wouldn't be able to knock it out. If you wanted to spend the AP to move to get into a position to where you can knock it back out again, like you did before, I would say I'll say that requires an AP to reposition yourself.
Okay, I will do that.
Then you get 1 take aim instead of 2. Go for it.
Got it. Crit fail, crit fail, crit fail.
As you move over and you kind of move around Nelly, everything's bouncing around. You go to lunge forward with your scythe, and whatever the hell Grant's doing up while he's trying to steer the damn wagon ain't going too well, as you run over something and the wagon goes flying up, like bouncing up in the air right as you lunge. Whatever creature you're looking at is really fast on their feet. They duck out of the way and you just swing, cut through the canvas behind it, and go flying out the wagon on the other side. You're gonna go ahead and you're gonna take 7 points of physical peril from the exertion, and then I'm not gonna roll damage yet because I didn't roll it for Sylvester and it's not that big a fall, but like you just go knocking yourself out the wagon right now. And Nelly, you got like a first class seat now, so it's pretty great. So it's actually Grant's turn next. Sorry. You got one dude sitting next to you.
Right next to me, huh?
The horses are bearing down on the left bank of this road. You know that
I feel like you're looking ahead and you have no idea like the catastrophe that's happening behind you.
First, I'll pull out my shield, so I'll have it this time.
Okay, so you got one hand on the reins and one hand on a shield. Fair? Is that fair, or are you letting go of the reins?
Oh.
It's time for the Sopranos to take over the reins.
How many hands do I have?
Can I have a third hand?
There are mutations.
We need Stekis.
I know this little one of our players in our podcast game has like a twin on his back that holds his weapons for him. It's great.
First, I'll try and control the horses before I pull anything out.
All right, I will ask for. Okay, so if you're pulling, remember like pulling stuff out at the beginning of a turn, like readying a weapon, like that's free as long as you do it at the beginning of your turn. And anywhere else during your turn, and actually like switching stuff out, then that's when you take on the AP.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'd like to get control first before
drive test.
Okay.
I'll keep it standard to give you an opportunity to actually succeed. Do you have drive?
Heck no. Flip to fail.
Flip to fail. Yeah. Okay.
I think I just did the same roll.
Yeah. You the horses are just going right. See the southern access is just this. The horses are just heading right for that bank, and there's just.
I'll re-roll with the fortune whip.
All right, I like it
as well.
Don't crit fail.
House always wins.
We're trying to die today.
Oh, unfortunately, it's flipped to fail.
Kidding.
That's a shame. That's even worse than the other one, 73. You just can't seem to get it to steer properly, and it's a matter of seconds before this thing is gonna just ram into the. You don't know whether or not the wagon's gonna be able to stay level. You don't know whether this thing's gonna like jump like it's a ramp. Who the hell knows what's happened? But what you do know is that these horses are sons of bitches because they're not listening to you.
It's not looking good, guys. Gotta get off.
You look over and there's like one person left.
Way ahead of you. We're already off.
Okay.
At this point, I'll pull out my shield.
Okay.
And then I'll cast a magic missile on the guy next to me.
So you're trying to cast like when he's in close proximity to you, right?
Yeah. So what you see is, or whenever I cast, I have a little, I guess, tick that I do. So I do tongue twisters when I cast magic. So what I end up doing is I go, much mashed mushrooms, cast magic missile. And you see missiles come flying out of my fingers.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. So roll your incantation test. What level of magic is this? I don't know all this.
It's just generalist.
Is it? So it's like petty stuff. So routine. I'm gonna actually increase it to challenging because this guy's right next to you, and could easily swipe away at your hand as you're trying to do your machinations.
Oh my god.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. What is the
Wow.
critical fail for arcade missile?
Okay, so the bolt flickers outwards before turning and striking myself.
What?
And then I drop whatever's out of my hands.
Okay, so you're gonna drop the shield,
Oh no.
and the shield goes flopping down to the ground.
Oh no.
Shield goes flopping down to the ground, and it's gone. Now, how much damage is the arcane missile?
I suffer 1d10 willpower bonus. So
Go for it. Roll it. Hey Jen. Hey Chrissy. Thanks for the bits.
It's gonna be a lot of damage.
Are you gonna kill yourself?
Oh my god.
What?
And I have a +8 mod, so I do 18 damage myself.
Mushrooms, huh?
Logly has
Yes,
no
so
idea.
I just dropped myself to grievous.
This is going to be the shortest campaign we've ever had.
We're gonna start an all new campaign in 20
my
minutes. Oh, it's great. So you went to grievously? All right,
Yeah,
so go ahead.
D6 real quick.
Okay.
You went straight to grievously? Gee.
Oh my.
Guys, 6.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. Oh dear god.
Oh no.
Roll that grievous injury button. Don't forget you can spend a fate point to ignore.
On the next episode, we go to the next wagon in the
So I
train.
got cerebral
See what's happening with them.
confusion.
Okay.
Until fully recuperated, I'm unconscious.
Oh, I want cookies. Yeah,
I'll just go ahead and hit up my fate point. that I
already got a
have.
fate point. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, fate point's gone. But you are grievously wounded, and there is a creature standing next to you, and you don't have your shield. That just
It's nice
fell-
knowing you guys.
Just dropped a fate point in the first hour of the campaign.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Next up, Nelly. You hear crazy explosions coming from the front of the wagon. You just saw this big old ogre go barreling through the canvas, falling out the one side of the wagon. You saw this old man get sucked out of the other side. You're left here with like 1 or 2 NPCs. What do you want to do? And there's one creature in here. And there's a creature
Okay.
up front that's screwing around with Grants, who doesn't look good right now.
Yeah.
Little lanterns hanging, giving you light and stuff.
Good lord. Okay.
This is so
Oh
good.
my gosh. So I wasn't standing next to him, so that doesn't do me any good. I'm gonna attack the one obviously that's closest to me.
Of course.
I'm gonna attempt to just shove it out of the
Okay.
carriage.
All right. All right.
So let me make sure it's still in standard. Cool.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness! What is happening?
Wow.
What?
Oh my god!
What?
Another-
You know what
What?
happened? You're like, y'all are rolling so good today.
Y'all rolling so
You know what would be so great?
It would be spectacular if you could start rolling some crit fails so I can knock you out of the wagon. Okay, so the weirdest thing happens. As you step forward and go to swing, this thing just dodges out of the way, and you thought, man, how bad is that ogre at combat? They can't even stay. And then, boom, you go flying out. Thank you for the bits. So you go flying out, and you are stumbling around as well on the outside. Let me roll your peril. Oh, don't worry about peril. And you go stumbling around as you fall out of this. Don't worry, the wagon's not moving like 50 miles an hour or anything like that, but you are certainly falling behind. And now you and Big Sis are still on the same side of the wagon at the very least. Grant,
What's near me out here?
you're on the ground rolling around. There is an ogre rolling around, and as you peek around, you can see that there are creatures that are still coming out of the woods on the east, which is the side that you're on, but also the west sides as well. And there's all sorts of creatures that are starting to encroach upon these three wagons. There are 2 free-running horses. One was on the other side with Sylvester, but you can see that something very similar is happening to the front car. You guys are in the middle car, as there's there's some sort of horse that's riding up alongside of the wagon up front.
Okay, so I still have
Got 2, I think, because you just
3.
attacked.
because I have
Okay.
lightning reaction, so that
Okay.
means I gain 1 additional action point, but I can only use that one to dodge or parry.
Okay, so if you get attacked, you'll use it.
Yeah,
So you have
exactly.
2 AP
So I have
left.
2. Yeah. So I'll spend the 2 to get up.
Okay. Do you have any coordination ranks?
Let me double check.
Remember, get up. You can just spend 1 if you've got a rank of
Yeah,
coordination.
if I have one. No, I don't.
Okay, so 2 to get up, and you're standing up, and you can see Big Sis still rolling around. And you
Yeah.
look around you, and there are creatures that have suddenly sighted you and you get the feeling that they're probably going to charge in at you very soon.
Okay.
And by very soon, I mean like right now, because it's their turn. All right, so as Grants, you're in the wagon. You can hear horrible screams behind you. You look over your head, and like one by one, every time you look over, somebody else is missing. Somebody else is missing. Somebody else is missing. Until you see just two people in the back right now, and one of them is laying on the floor of the wagon. You can see all sorts of like travel cases and boxes are flopping all over the place from the bumpy road, and this creature is literally sitting on top of them and just swinging left and right down at them, like ripping them to pieces. And this other like middle-aged man has this horrifying look on his face as he's watching it, and he looks up and he sees you, and you are right next to this other creature who's going to go ahead and attack you. So I'm going to take aim, and I'm going to attempt to swing at you. So it's going to be take aim twice, and then I'm just going to swing. Nothing special, because I think I can kill him already.
Yep, probably.
I can get that second fate point out right off the bat. I rolled a 2. Some of us are still rolling just fine. Just fine, I tell you. 9 points. Is that enough to move you?
Adam
Oh,
said
yeah, that's
nothing
enough.
is a
You're
problem.
gonna already. Am I already getting your second fate point?
Yeah,
tonight?
instead of dying, I have another fate point to spend.
Okay. So it scrapes away at you, and you. Oh my goodness, you're now at a good thing you took a drawback. All right, so this thing is up there with you. Out on the side, on the horse, where Sylvester is being dragged from, you'll notice that if you're like looking up while you're thumping around like a cartoon character, you can see the bomb gets thrown into the back of the wagon, and suddenly the back of the wagon just explodes with fire. Grant, because you're sitting up front, you're not actually going to get caught, and I'll say you won't get caught in the burst, but you can hear the sounds of people screaming even further, like ah, as they're kind of caught on fire, and the wagon canvas is caught on fire as well. The other one that's kind of controlling the horse, is riding the horse, is going to go ahead and it's going to try and swipe down at Sylvester, while Sylvester is below him. So I'll make this a slightly more difficult attack because they're driving at the same time. So I'll treat it as standard, or excuse me, as challenging, and so I'll attempt after and I also critical fail. And so as they go to swing at you, they miss, but their balance is completely thrown, and now they get thrown off this horse, and they go flopping around. And there's just this one other dude who has no idea how to control this horse. This horse is just going in all sorts of different directions. As they flop down into the ground, they're also going to go ahead and take... Oops, that's the wrong button. D10, please. There we go. They rolled the same thing. All right, so you're going to see the other one. It'll take some peril, and it flops down. And it'll stay down unless it has coordination. Does it have coordination?
This has got to be a record for quick
It does
fail.
have coordination, so it'll spend its last AP to stand up on its turn. And so Sylvester, you see this creature fall down, stand up, and then just begin to hustle after you in the horse. All right, let's see. This is insane.
Have we considered throwing a rock?
Yeah, I agree. Sylvester, you're holding on to this bullwhip. What are you going to do, man, as you're being dragged along the ground?
So what's on the horse? There's no one else on the horse?
There was one person on the horse, but they were like the person that wasn't actually controlling the horse. They weren't riding the horse. They were just sitting on the back, like piggyback on it, and they were throwing the bottle bomb. And so now they're on the horse, like scrambling for the reins to try to get the reins while the horse.
All right, so I'm gonna try to get up the whip again. Try and mount this horse from the whip.
I'm gonna ask for the same thing before athletics test.
So it's hard athletics,
was that what I asked before?
I think.
You said standard.
No. Hard was for you to water ski.
Yeah.
Standard was just to crawl up it. That's fine.
Okay, yeah. So standard athletics.
Okay. It's so ridiculous. I have all these notes. Could go this way. Could go that way. Didn't think it could be this. He might.
Just now working.
You want to re-roll that?
How many we got left?
3. Actually, Adam gave you guys 100, so you actually have you have 4.
I'll roll it, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I'll get a dice roll. Jeez, oh man. My athletics sucks.
you're an old
right.
man, so I
Yeah.
think it sort of makes sense.
Let me let go of the whip and try and right myself.
Okay, so you let go of the whip. Do you? I think you have coordination, so you can.
Yeah.
You let go of the whip. I won't. That doesn't take an action. So you spend an AP to try to climb up. Failed. Let go of the whip. Spend an AP to stand up. You have 1 AP left, and you're looking around. What do you want to do?
Can I? For my weapon, so I have a bow and arrow, right?
I think you probably don't currently, because you had your whip and you had the gun out. The gun is the thing that you fired, and so I would probably guess that you had the whip in one hand and the gun in the other.
So I wouldn't have this out yet.
I would say you might not even have it at all. It might be on the wagon.
Can I reload my hand cannon?
What's its load property?
2, so it takes 2 AP.
You can spend a fortune point to do that, to get a second AP, and then spend both of those to load. You can see that one of the rider is just a few yards away from you too, and bearing down on you.
I'll bank it.
Okay, you'll bank the AP. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sit there and get ready.
Big says you're rolling around on the ground. You heard something crash, and you look and you can see as you're flopping that Nelly has fallen, stood up, and she's within a few yards of you. What do you want to do? Excuse me.
And so, where is the creature that I was trying to swing at? Still in the
They're still in the wagon, which is now on fire and probably about 20 yards and moving from you.
Jeepers. So I'm going to walk over to Nelly, help Nelly up, and then try to go.
Nelly's already
back.
standing.
Okay, so I'm just going to try to go back towards the wagon.
Do you have any coordination?
I doubt it.
Just remember, get up is 2 AP or 1 AP if you have coordination. Okay, so you spend 2 AP to get up, 1 AP to get next to Nelly. Okay.
Yep.
The wagon's probably going to outpace you at this point, but you can see that it's veering off course, and it looks like it's about to go off path. Like, this isn't a road, it's more like a path, and there's an embankment it's about to hit. Something awful could potentially happen to that thing. Granted, it's on fire. Everyone keeps getting pulled off of it, so, I mean, nothing good's been happening anyway. So,
no.
But you and Nelly are right next to each other. Grant, your wagon's on fire. You can't seem to get the horses to do anything. You're bleeding and nearly dead, and your magic just exploded on you while your shield fell to the ground, and this dude's about to kill you. What would you like to do?
Is anyone else on the wagon with?
There's a dead NPC that just got eviscerated, and then there's this other NPC that's currently being burnt to death. And they're doing that classic like freeze, like and then they're getting burnt while it's happening.
See that this is off to no good. I'm gonna try and abandon, so I'm gonna wrap these reins around this creature next to me.
Okay.
I'll do like a chokehold with it or something.
Nice.
We could do a chokehold, or we can just make a simple melee attack. What do you prefer? What's better for you? I'll let you choose. Either one of those I'll take.
I like the wrapping the reins idea.
Athletics, so I'll do the chokehold.
Okay, athletics is better? Sure. So you try to wrap them around. I like it. So yeah, just treat it standard. It's fine. There we go.
Nice, it worked.
Okay. And so, if you would believe it, these creatures can't actually take reactions. These are underling rolls. So this thing is gonna. So you just wrap it around their neck, and they. Yeah. And when you look at them, they are just covered in. You're not sure if it's paint, or blood, or viscera, whatever it is. Like, you can barely make heads or tails of them. They're humanoid, whatever they are, but they're covered in cut and bruised. There's like little flickering pieces of metal and various confusing parts of their body. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And so this thing's getting choked. Roll your D10 and add your brawn bonus. That's how much peril this is going to do to it. All right, so that's going to do.
It's only gonna be 6.
I think that's still actually enough to move the underlings down. No, it's not. 6 is sorry, not enough.
All right, and then after that, I'll try and jump off using like the tarp of the wagon.
Okay.
Cushion my fall a bit. I don't know.
Okay. So you're gonna jump off. Go ahead and roll a coordination test. We'll see how this goes for you. Standard's fine.
Oh, I just missed it.
Okay, so we'll say you manage to hop down in such a way that it doesn't kill you, but you're going to land prone. So you're going to be prone on the start of your next turn. Okay? All right. Going over to the Nelly, you've got Big Sis next to you. You can see coming out of the woods, there are just waves and waves of these packs of these creatures. There's like 3 that are coming at the 2 of you. They're within maybe 10 yards or so, but they're closing in. They have eyes specifically for the 2 of you. They're just staring right at you, just like partly running on 2, sometimes running like they're feral on the ground with like their arms in their legs. What would you like to do?
Ooh. Is there how close to being engaged?
About 10 yards or so.
Okay, so I can definitely get there.
Open for adventure. Thank you for the raid. Very, very kind.
Thank you for the raid.
Okay, so I'm gonna
About to kill every character in this game. So everyone's falling off a wagon, getting trampled by horses. Throw a rock. It's a good idea.
So I have an oil pot, and
Go on.
I want to make like a sort of bottle bomb kind of thing, and just throw it at him.
Okay. So do you have fire on you?
I mean, I could produce fire.
How would you produce fire? Explain this to me.
A rock.
Don't think. It's going pretty well, man. How are you doing? I mean, it's going well for me. It's going terribly for them. First episode, it's a wagon getting assaulted. Everyone's possibly gonna die.
How close is the wagon that was behind us?
It's coming up on you now. Yeah, but you can also see that thing's not going well either. That thing's being swarmed as well with whatever these feral creatures are. One of the horses is currently being like just cut through by 2 of them on either side. That horse is probably going to go down pretty soon. Just crit fails left and right. It's great.
Oh God. I kind of want to get a horse. I mean, so is there one horse that's like, but they're like chained into the thing?
Yeah.
So you said there's 3 running at me?
There's going to be 3 about 10 yards away from you. They're going to be able to get to you if you stay here. They go next.
I'm gonna. Melissa, do we want to die? She's not looking at me.
She shook her head.
We don't want to die.
I suppose I'll start running towards our wagon.
Okay, so you're running. You're continuing the run. Okay, so what's your movement?
7.
All right. So how many AP are you spending? When you say run, do you really mean run? Throw a rock?
Yeah, I mean run.
You know, when somebody does finally throw a rock, it's going to be like a crit success, and then like all the freaking damage die are going to explode. And
that's what we should just do. Like
campaign over. You killed the major
rock
boss.
throwing.
The dragon falls out of the sky. You win. Yay. Okay, so how many AP? We said you were spending?
I'm gonna run.
You're gonna run. So 21, and you're just speeding past. You're like, see you, big sis, and you go. Okay. So now my turn. Okay, so as you start running, you look over your shoulder just in time to see that horse that was being hacked away on. Just its legs give out from under it, and so it falls down to the ground. The other horse that was running alongside of it gets caught up in the legs and the reins, also stumbles. You can see that the wagon itself slams into the horses who are slowly getting rolled over, and then the back side of the wagon leaps up and flips over like a Michael Bay film and lands right in the middle, except we have a plot, and it smacks right there into the road. You can see people who are trying to like hop out as it's coming over. It's not working too well. And then you see as all these different people and horses are splayed out on the ground and no longer moving, a bunch of these feral creatures begin to swarm on top of them and just begin to hack away at them. Let's see. Where is everybody now? We've got Grants and Big Sis who are fairly close to one another. We've got Sylvester, who is right next to one of the alphas. So the alpha is going to move in on old Sylvester. So it's going to be 1 AP to move up. Then I'm going to go ahead and do...
Would you say I'm next to Grant?
No, you just ran past him, I would say.
Past
21
him.
yards.
Could you say
Pretty close. You're relatively close.
Can you say I stopped next to him instead of going past him?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll say that. Okay. All right. So the over on the west side of the road, a little bit further back, because Sylvester was the first one to get yanked out. This alpha creature comes running at you. 1 AP to close the distance. I'm gonna do 1 AP. No. Change that. I'm gonna spend 2 AP to charge, and then I'm gonna attack because it adds a d6 if I hit. All right, so here we go. 2 AP, moving up, charging at you, and then it'll try to roll. It'll fail. I'll use a misfortune point. Why the hell not? That's what they're for.
You've got some.
Hang on. There we go. Let me do it again. Probably should have done that. What's with the 99s, man?
Engage, little boy.
Stop it. What are you doing with that voice? You're gonna get his throat off. Okay. And I rolled really crap for my peril, so this thing reaches out and swings and stumbles over itself.
I like thinking it swings, and I'm like Neo from the Matrix. I'm an old man for some reason. I have like crazy maneuvers.
Fair enough. On the other side, 3 of these creatures are gonna charge in at Big Sis, who was left by herself.
I should have stayed, but I was scared for Grant.
That's fine. Well, he's almost dead. Big Sis
It's just a turd, all right? Leave it alone.
All right, so you got these 3 creatures are swarming around you. You're outnumbered 3-1 in this engagement. I'm going to make this easier for them, obviously, to hit you. So each one of them had to spend... Let's see, we'll say they were 9... They have 9 movements, so we'll say they had to spend 2 AP to move in. And then I'll go ahead and roll 3 attacks on you. We'll treat this as routine. Okay, there we go. First one. No. Second one. Yes. Third one.
Oh.
Yes. Okay.
Oh.
So the first one comes in, gets your attention. You manage to sort of shove it off balance as it comes in, but as you do that, you leave yourself open as the second one just crushes you right in the along the back, and you feel these like claws, these almost like they're sharp blades just raking all the way down your back. And then as you turn to try to push it away, a second one kind of comes right across your shoulder, and now you have these 2 big welts. You don't have any AP to block to try to parry the second one, do you? I don't think so. I'm gonna say no, so if you don't answer right away, I'm assuming no. So 11 points of damage for the first, 10 points of damage for the second. How are we doing for you? Either of those move you?
Looking, hold on. The 11 will.
Okay, so 10. So your threshold's 10?
Yeah.
Okay, so 10 doesn't work. So you'll take 11 points damage. That'll move you down 1 step, but that only puts you at lightly, so you don't got to roll anything yet. Okay.
Yep, sorry.
And then we will go back up to the top. Actually, the horse guy. What do I want to do with the horse guy? Does the horse guy want to hop down and fight Sylvester? Or is the horse guy going to try a ride check? I'm going to try a ride check.
That should be fun.
He does not have ride. Here we go. Okay. The one on the horse actually does manage to get control of the horse and continues kind of riding after the carriage in front, because that's the one that's still riding. Okay. Now, before it goes over to Sylvester, Big Sis, Grants, and Nellis, you all see on the eastern side of the road as the wagon that the 2 of you are on goes over the embankment. The horses are just going. They don't care. They're freaking out. And as the wagon wheels hit that embankment, the wagon tips, flies off, and you can see all sorts of fiery things start falling off of it. So all your luggage and your weapons and the other passengers that were still on there, and one of the weird creatures that was attacking you was also caught in flame, flying off of it, all of them into the darkness. But because it's lit, you can see that a run of hedgerows just suddenly lights up, giving a bit of light down the eastern side of the road, or eastern side of the path. Sylvester, you've got this creature right in front of you, covered in skins and furs. When you look closely, there's not a whole lot of light as people are the carriage behind you didn't catch up because it collapsed. The wagon that you were on continued forward, so neither of you actually have any light right now. So you're getting some ambient light from the distance, but it's very, very dark. What do you want to do?
Can I dirty tricks him? Try and blind him?
Sure. There's a big rock in the ground, so you pick it up.
Finally.
You try to smash it into their eyes.
No. That's not what I'm going to throw at him, Jeffrey.
Okay. Oh God. Come on. Come on.
So that's a dirty tricks is a guile test.
Yeah, it's guile.
So guile. What would this be at? Just standard?
Standard's fine. Okay.
So that didn't work.
Yeah, you're unable to get underneath this cowl that it seems to be covering the top part of their head.
Can I load my gun?
Adam should just do color commentary. We should have like a secondary stream where it's just like Mystery Sirius Theater. Like there's like two people that are just watching our stream and commenting on it the whole time.
I'm gonna just load my gun. Take my last 2 AP to load my gun.
Okay, so you're staying in close proximity to this one. Got it. Big Sis, you are surrounded by 3 of these creatures, slathering and growling and glinting with claws. What do you want to do? Grants, you're on deck, and you're next to Nelly, so be ready.
I would like to maneuver and try to get up with the group.
Okay, so you're gonna spend. You can spend 2 points to maneuver out of the engagement, and then spend a hustle.
Yep.
And that'll get you
6.
We'll say you'll be a little bit behind them, but you'll be much closer to them. Or you can just do a dead run, which will increase your damage threshold for any potential opportunity attacks.
Yeah, let's just do that because I only have a movement of 6, so that'll give me 18. We'll do that.
As you run, they do not take any because, as I already let out.
Oh, they're underlings.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
right.
like you don't necessarily like mechanically. That's the rule. I don't know how that narratively shows up, but yeah, I mean, there we go. But yeah, you run past. They swipe away at you like flavor, but you manage to get past them. They kind of accidentally hit themselves. You hear the clinking of metal on metal.
Stop.
And you step out.
Running.
All right, Grants.
All right,
Plural.
what's in my immediate vicinity?
You've got this woman in like plate armor. This ogre just ran past you. Clearly, they're enemies. I think you should cast more spells.
I definitely can.
Okay, so you're prone. Don't forget.
All right. Yeah, I'll get up first.
Okay. So 1 if you have coordination, 2 AP if you don't.
You mean if I have a point in it?
If you have a point in coordination, it's 1 AP.
I do not, so it'll take 2 AP.
Gotcha. All right, you got 1 AP left. You see Big Sis, this ogre lady, has started to run a little bit past you. Nelly is behind you. You're kind of sandwiched between them currently.
I'll assist her by casting another magic missile at what she's charging at.
Okay. Looking around, you can see that there were 3 behind that are probably within range of you. Up front, you can see that the wagon has kind of thrown some off the road. The other wagon carriage is still way off in front and leaving you behind. So the first, remember, it was a run of 3. You all were in the second one. The one behind has flipped over. Yours, you weren't able to ever get control of it, so it veered off, and now that one's also flipped. But the first wagon, well out in front, is still going. And so the only 3 that I would say, the ones behind that are probably going to be chasing after you.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and hustle instead. Try to get some distance. I don't want to be caught by those goose.
Okay, so you start running past Big Sis. You do see that the wagon out in front is well in front of you, and it too was being covered and attacked. And some of the ones, and there were 2 on the wagon that you crashed that just went off the road. Whether they come back, you don't know. So it's not like it's empty up ahead. Like it's still possible for you to run into some things. So just keep that in mind. All right, Nelly, it is your turn. Grants and Big Sis have both run past you. No sign of Sylvester. He's probably dead anyway. Who cares? Just live a long life.
I want to be next to someone, and everybody
I get you.
leaving me.
I mean, this is not a great situation. I think it's a great narrative situation. But tactically, it's pretty bad for you.
Yeah.
You guys should have put yourselves in better position.
Because we willingly threw ourselves from the,
right?
the thing.
Before the end of the night, someone's got to throw a damn rock, or Adam, I think, is going to cry himself to sleep at night. So we got to do that. It's got to happen. Someone needs to do it.
Okay, as long as it doesn't take my attack action.
Okay.
I'll throw.
Well, it is an attack action. It's throwing.
Yeah.
It is indeed.
Okay.
All right. So what do you want to do? Do you want to chase after the two of them?
Can I hustle to get to Big Sis and then wait?
So I would say.
Because how much further did she go than me?
I mean, we're getting into abstract terms. I would say that you can probably get up there and keep an AP banked. I would say. I can say you can move up and bank an AP, and the three of you will be in like within a yard or two of each other.
Okay.
That's my negotiation.
That's fine. I'll take it.
Okay. So. As you all are running, you're coming down this not Sylvester. That dude's screwed. The three of you are at least moving down the road. You can see the wagon ahead, that the only one that's still standing, begin to dip out of sight as you're coming to the crest of a hill. When you get to the top of the hill, you look down and you can see in the distance there's lights, and there is some sort of encampment. Those of you who had any sort of conversation with the wagon driver at any point know that your stopping point for the evening was supposed to be a place called Fort Akron, and this is not an actual fort, but it used to be. It is more of a rundown ruin that local family clans and such that live and nomadically move around this dam sometimes meet and set up trades or various other politicking celebrations and things like that. So it's customarily used as a stopping point, but it's not in full condition. It's not actually stocked by any soldiers of the Rhine or anything like that. But when you look down that hill, you can see a ways away. There are all sorts of fires that you see coming up in places that you would expect to see fires, but also in places which you would not expect to see fires, like on the walls and things like that are already crumbled and ruined. It's a ways away, and it's still, again, nighttime, but the light in the ahead gives you some sort of beacon. You know that's where you were going, at the very least. There were likely going to be other people there. Okay. So then it's resolve. Next to Sylvester, this alpha is going to go ahead and attempt to take you down first with their first AP. This is going to be coordination. Okay, so I'm attempting coordination to knock you down. Jesus, what? The 99s and the 100s. This is what is going on? Roll 20 is broken. All of the hacking I did to make sure all your rolls were bad doesn't seem to be working anymore. It's making my rolls bad. So it's going to sort of lash out and try to trip you ineffectually. It's going to take some peril. Then it'll go ahead and take aim once and will attack you with its remaining 2 AP. So let's get that going. As you are loading up your weapon.
Another crit fail.
What is happening? What is happening? This is insane.
You done screwed up, boy.
I hate you. All right. So as it swings at you while you're loading it up, the bell of the gun is still kind of smoky and hot from the shot that was just 30 seconds ago, and it tries to swing at you, and you manage to just get it right under the chin with the bit at the end of your gun, and it kind of curses out in this strange guttural as from the burn, and it'll also take more peril. All right, that's a lot this time. Actually, it rolled twice. Sorry. All right. So then the other three are going to charge in at Nelly, Big Sis, and Grants. We'll go 1, 1, and 1 just to make it fair as they all kind of settle into this big engagement. That sounds fair. All right, so we'll go Nelly. One comes up to you, your big old shield in the way. It will go ahead and roll. It will hit. You have an AP left, as we said. Do you want to go ahead and parry, block, whatever you want to do?
Yeah, can I only parry once, by the way?
Nope. You can parry as many times as you have AP.
Okay.
That's going to be a fail. So
I'll take that hit.
Okay. So 10 points of damage goes through. Then the next one will be on Big Sis.
Alrighty.
Also will go through. Do you have any AP to parry?
No.
I'm going to go ahead and use that misfortune point and explode. So what did I roll? I rolled a 2. So add a 4 to that. It'll be 12 plus a d6. So let me roll a d6 really quick. 15 points of damage onto Big Sis.
All right, so that'll put me at moderately.
Okay, go ahead and hit the go ahead and roll a 1d6. Actually, 2d6. These are vicious weapons.
Ah!
Now, please hit the moderate injury button.
I don't wanna.
I said to. Okay.
Right.
Hyperextended elbow. Till fully recuperated, you must flip the results to fail all actions on combat that rely on ranged weapons. Okay, fair enough. So you do your best to try to sweep away the attacks that are coming at you, but in doing so, you kind of overexert your arm, and it gets caught up in one of the swipes, like the backhand of the swipe, that just pulls your arm down even further to the point where you feel a small twinge occur in your elbow, and your arm kind of goes numb with pain. And then the last one for old Grants. Also a success. Do you have any AP left there, Mr. Grants?
No AP.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to use my shield wall.
Okay.
When engaged with an ally, if they fail to parry or cannot do so, I can immediately parry in their stead.
Go ahead and roll a parry
I
check.
had my extra one.
So roll a parry check, yeah. Because you get the lightning reflex thing.
Yeah, and I parry.
And so you reach out, and as it lunges, looking like it's going in for the kill shot at Grants, you manage it just to bump it right at the right time, throwing their attack off, and they stumble a few feet to the left, missing wide. All right.
Thank you, miss.
Okay.
And she'll be like,
So then, Sylvester, this dude's in front of you. It's been a comedy of errors, honestly, between the two of you. I am shocked at the number of crit fails that we've had tonight. On my last turn, I rolled a 77 and 100 against you. Luck's about to come around to my favor, I think. 3 fortune points left. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna take aim and shoot at this mamma jamma.
Okay, because it's a gunpowder weapon, you are free to do so. Do you say anything as you go to shoot?
Oh, if we'll see what happens.
If it hits, okay. You can't do it's been revoked. I already did that.
Damn it, I was gonna say that.
I already did it. I did it in Mutineer Zero a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
It's so good.
I'll have what she's having.
It doesn't work.
Stop making Family Guy references, man. Okay, that's 10 points of damage to it, which will move it down to moderately. So I'll roll my D. This isn't. Are you spending an AP to add 1d6 Fury die? It's a punishing weapon.
Sure. Yeah.
So roll another d6 and add it to the damage. Roll another d6 because that exploded. We're up to 16 now. 20 points of damage. This was so 20 points of damage. This was at lightly. Let me check its damage threshold here and see how far you push it down. You move it 3 steps down. 19 was its third, so you move it 3 steps. So it goes. So if it was at lightly, moderately, seriously, grievous. So it'll be 3 d6s for an injury.
Good job.
As you all hear the sound of this echoing, and you know that, well, that old Sylvester, well, he's hard to kill. Hard.
Gosh, I shot him.
You gotta. Jesus. All right, no injury. I'm good. Such an idiot.
So he's at grievously now. Is that what it is?
He is at Grievous. He's almost dead. Yeah.
So I have another AP. I can't attack again.
You
right?
can't attack again. No, we don't play with that rule. That's a rule that you can add in if you want to do it's like an optional rule, but it makes it super bloody.
You could do a special action.
There's nothing he can do to do damage to it.
Oh, damn it. No, can you do a perilous stunt still?
You can still do a pair of stun. Yeah, that's fine.
Do
Yeah,
it.
I can-
Dustin, do it.
Would knockout be good? I guess.
Knockout wouldn't work here because he's not actually defenseless to you. Knockout, they have to be. So in this case, he's not. He's engaged with you. You're right there, unless you have some ability that I don't know of that suddenly makes him defenseless to your attacks.
Can I chokehold him? Would that help? Or
That's
just go...
totally fine. That'll do. So what chokehold will do is it'll do peril to him, but also means that if he doesn't resist, he's got to resist to be able to do anything on his turn. So.
Yeah, so I'm gonna chokehold him.
Okay, so go ahead and roll an athletics test.
My athletics is so bad.
Yes.
You should have done a takedown because you could have done coordination.
Hey, first time trying out
Too
new
late.
characters, you'll
Too
figure it
late.
out. Do you want to re-roll that with Fortune Point?
No, my athletics
I
is
think,
terrible.
come
so,
on. It's
nah,
1 in 3 chance. 1 in 3 chance.
I'm
Like
a-
50-50, right? That's how
I'm
that
all
works.
right. Yeah, yeah,
All right,
I'm good.
Okay. So you reach out, you caress him on the neck a little bit, and yeah, that's your turn. Big sis.
How you feeling there, buddy?
Big sis, you're up front. You're surrounded by these 3 other creatures. You thankfully have other people around you. What do you want to do?
I'm seeing the lights in the distance. I feel like we're going to need some support, so I'm still going to kind of keep heading in that.
He's got a theory, and he's just gonna go with it. So there's 3. There's 6 of you kind of in this engagement here. 3 enemies, and counting yourself, 3 people, 3 allies. What do you want to do?
I really want to head towards the light. Is what I really want to do.
I thought you were
don't wanna
supposed
get
to
these other
not
people
go
killed.
towards light. You're trying to tell me you want to die?
No.
Big sis is still reeling from the memory of what happened a year plus ago, however long.
That
Ailing
she
Isle was.
is. All right,
She
I'll
just
take
doesn't
aim
want to
twice
make
and
friends
hit.
at this point. She's like, if we don't make a friendship and I just keep running,
Can't
it'll be
lose
fine.
you.
I never lose anyone I care about if I never care about anyone. Yeah. All right.
All right.
I don't even have Kahlua in my coffee tonight either.
Darn
you,
it.
You didn't say you took aim or anything.
I did. I did too.
Oh, you did? Sorry, my bad. I didn't hear
Yeah,
you.
took aim twice
Gotcha, I
and
see
hit and
You still
missed.
All right. Grants, you've got these 2 large, powerful women around you, and you've got all these crazy looking creatures, and you're almost dead. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna first start off with casting magic.
Okay. All right.
I'll do a little.
Do you want to maneuver
Aegis
out
on the-
first, or?
Yeah,
Oh, Aegis.
just like,
I see what you're doing.
oh, okay.
Let's see. Yes, I'll cast Aegis. So I'll go. Let's see. Abernathy asked for Aegis. Abernathy asked for Aegis. Cast Aegis. Get a little Aegis on myself.
Okay. So you've got your little splinter of a shield in your pocket somewhere that you're clinging to as you cast it over. Increases his damage threshold is what it does. It's a pretty useful spell. Okay. So you've done that.
I have to roll that, right?
It's an incantation test, yeah. So roll. I think it should be routine for you. Since you're not casting it on anybody, I'll just let you roll it routine. It's fine.
Well, and it's a petty spell.
Mm-hmm. Success goes through.
All right, nice.
So you're
So that'll give me a bit of a damage threshold.
perfect.
Three.
2 more AP. What do you want to do?
Then I'll do. Is there just 1 on me or 2? You said?
There's 3 in this engagement with you and Big Sis. One of them is attacking you. Each one of them is getting an attack. Nelly seems to be trying to protect you.
Okay.
Good old Nelly. Everyone's good old somebody. Good old Sylvester. Good old Nelly. Good old Big Sis. No, that doesn't sound right. Good old Big Sis.
So I'll do throwing knives at one that's out of my reach.
I would say you're probably going to want to step out if you're going to want to do like range attacks and things like that.
I'll maneuver then instead with
Okay,
2
so
AP.
you maneuver
Don't
out,
attack it.
and so nothing is now literally able to hit you unless they
Yep.
move towards you. Perfect. Nelly.
Okay. I would like to attack the one right in front of me.
Okay.
What? You're smiling.
I'm just smiling that no one is gonna throw a rock. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't have rocks. And I hit for 20.
Okay, let me check its thresholds
Wow.
here. 20, let's see.
Mortuary rocks, you mean?
Hey, Ashley, do you want to spend a fury? Do you want to spend a fortune to explode a die?
I haven't spent any yet, so sure.
Okay, so you explode it. Roll a d6. That'll move it up to 23. And now roll your d6.
Oops. It's not giving me the little pop-up for dice. Oh, because my turn order thing's in
Yeah,
there.
sometimes they're.
Boom. And it's a stick.
Nice.
They really are everywhere. Keep rolling.
They're everywhere.
They're all over the place. The whole reason Big Sis got knocked out is because Grants ran over a rock on the ground, so it's right there. You slaughtered this thing, so tell us what that looks like.
So Nellie just finished just kind of like lunging forward to block for her new friend. And she proceeds with the follow through to just bring her mortuary sword forward, and she's holding it not correctly where she's holding it down, so the sword's pointing down, and just impales through his face and just drags down.
Jeez.
Yep.
These things had families.
My God.
Like, calm down. Nah, awesome. And so there's blood and guts and metal fly everywhere, and this thing falls to the ground. All right, so
that was one.
that is just one. You didn't take aim or anything. Yeah, so you got
Nope.
2 AP left. Plus you've got your dodge parry AP that you keep in your back pocket.
Yep.
What do you want to do?
I am going to do a takedown on the one who was closest to Grant.
Okay.
So with the continued follow through, I'm just gonna like pull and like take my shield kind of and just go to bash him in the stomach with it.
Coordination to try to control the swing and arc of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, standard's fine.
Cool.
Nice.
And I pass.
And that thing, you sweep through it, and it stumbles back a little bit, and then falls back on its ass. Okay.
Can I apply powerful to this because I am holding my mortuary sword? But I didn't hit it with my mortuary sword.
Does powerful apply to perilous stunts or just to attacks?
Good question.
I got it
Probably
here.
The
just to
quality of your
attacks.
weapon.
It's after striking an engaged foe. So we'll say it's knocked. You probably don't want it to back up anyway because it's knocked down. You want it to be probably with an easy reach of like
true.
Big Sis anyway. So.
Yeah, I'll leave it then.
It falls. It falls down, and you hear it go. Argh! And as you know, there's this sharp rock that it landed on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There we go.
Over.
And then
Okay.
can I want to subdue the third.
Subdue is
And
gonna be doing it so you're not gonna kill it. There's still dozens of these other things around attacking different wagons. So
Oh, true. Then I'll just
okay.
say
And
that.
subdue also is it's like a rider to an attack. Like it's like if the damage that you did with the attack would have killed it. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Over by Sylvester, this thing that is nearly dead is going to once more, probably for the last time, as you hear all sorts of like horns in the shadows. You're by yourself. You look behind this creature and you can see that the wagon that was third in the train is completely taken over. You see people getting torn apart on the ground. The canvas is on fire as lanterns have spilled from the crash. You can see people starting to run in your direction. Help! And then they get like hopped on from behind, like spider monkeys leaping out of the darkness. And then they notice you fighting with this taller creature, and more of these small starts to hustle in your direction. So you see 3 more of these smaller versions of the same creature that you're fighting partly running on 2, partly running on 4, begin charging in your direction. They can't get you this turn, but they're coming. The one that's immediately engaged with you is going to attempt a takedown on you, and will attempt to just do that. I'll just go ahead and do nothing special, just no take aim or anything. So it's going to take you down, possibly. No, it won't. Then it'll go ahead and I think it will... Gosh, I want to throw a rock at you, maybe? It's going to... It's going to attack you, but it's going to do so without taking aim. Yeah. It'll hit. So 10 points. So do you have any? You don't have any AP left to parry. You have a ranged weapon in your hand anyway. So then I think I'm gonna go ahead and explode that. So that'll be 12 plus 3. So 15 points of damage to Sylvester as it carves right through your chest.
All right.
So does that move you?
I'm at moderately.
Okay, roll it. Roll 2d6s for injury because these are vicious weapons. All right, you're fine. And then it's going to use its last AP to hustle away from you towards the incoming 3 other creatures. Then over by Big Sis and... whoops, didn't mean to do that. Over by Big Sis and Nelly, each one of them, you'll see one of them will stand up because it was knocked to the ground. That's an AP. Then it'll attempt to... It'll try to attack each one of you once. Like so, the fighter types. That's a fail on Nelly. And then... The other one will go ahead and take aim twice and attack Big Sis. This will be a success on Big Sis, but I only deal 7 damage. So
I'm gonna. Well,
it is Amadeus. How did you know? It's like, is there a
parry.
camera on my notes? You can if you like. You can do a flavor parry. I'm pretty sure that's not gonna hurt her. We can do. I think her damage threshold's 10, but we'll do a flavor. We can do a flavor parry because it's not like you're gonna get to use that AP for anything else.
Nah, I'll let fly.
Okay, Sylvester, this thing ran away from you. You have an unloaded gun, unloaded weapon. It's within about 9-10 yards of you. You've got 3 others that are right on its heels, and it looks like all 4 of them are about to turn around on you. You are isolated at this point. You can hear stuff coming out of the darkness to the west, which is west of the road. You're completely isolated. There's no one around you. The others on the wagon continued further down the path. The only other people that you see are currently getting torn apart from wagon 3. What would you like to do, friend?
I want to try and find the other guys. So
they are within a stone's throw. That is true.
Yeah. I want to find the other guys. So I guess I have to make an awareness check or something.
So I would say I'll just give it to you for free. You know that they were in the wagon and they were continuing. You can make an go ahead and make an awareness test.
Because I want to catch up with them and get with them.
Okay, make an awareness test. Standard's fine, and we'll see if there's anything else that isn't obvious that you notice. You see about 30 yards further down the road, off to the eastern side of the road, actually near the bank, almost as if they're off the road itself. The only reason you can see them is that a hedgerow off the road has caught on fire from the wagon that you were in, crashing into it, and you can see that the large ogre woman that you had met on the road. You can see that the heavily armored woman Nelly that you met, and that tiny little weird gnomish guy who kept mumbling weird sorts of tongue twisters the whole time through. You can see the 3 of them are currently engaged with 2 others. But you can also see that there are bigger packs that are still beginning to close in on them and everywhere. So if you don't move quickly, you're going to be overwhelmed.
Is there anything else I see around me? Am I
Rocks everywhere.
A path or a way into the woods?
You can just go into the woods if you want, but that's where the sounds of like howling and horns and savagery is, like as if there's more in the darkness that's about to be coming into the fight. If you want to go into the woods, I'm more than happy to help you make a new character for next week.
So
That's
they're coming
mute.
from the woods. I'm just trying to picture. They're coming from the woods. There's the road and embankment. They're coming from both sides.
Justin, there's literally one way to go. Go the way the wagons were going.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go towards them where the wagons are going, right?
Yeah. So what's your movement?
I don't have a number for my movement. I never put it in.
It should have auto-calculated it for you.
Oh, 8.
Okay. So if you use all of you can go 24 yards, which is going to get you almost to them. Not quite, but pretty close.
Can I move twice?
Well, spending all AP gets you 24 yards, which means you'll be within about 6 yards of them.
All right, so I'll do that. I'll get close to them.
Okay. So then it'll be Big Sis's turn. You got these two other creatures still nearby.
Yep, I'm going to do the same thing again. So I'm spending 2 to take aim and hitting with my scythe. See if it goes better this time.
It does.
It does.
You want to use any fortune points to explode anything?
I do.
Go ahead. You actually rolled a 1, so that'll put that at 13. So roll a d6. Puts it at 18. So for this, 18 will move it 3 steps down the track. So I'll put it at seriously. Do you have vicious? You do. So I will roll 3 d6s for this.
I have stuff.
Yeah, not only that, but I have rules of the game where it's taken an injury, and as an underling creature, it dies. So describe the kill.
Oh, darn, I was hoping to unveil my other thing.
You're welcome to unveil the other thing and keep my thing alive if you like. That's fine.
No.
Okay.
I just get to do 2 injuries instead of 1.
It died twice.
So basically, having been unsuccessful with kind of the swipe with the scythe the first time, she's going to do kind of a upper right to bottom left cut through, and it's basically going to kind of like get caught on its neck, and so instead of kind of being able to go all the way down, it's going to kind of pull forward and pop his head off.
Okay, very nice. And so this, much like a rock, this thing bounces down onto the ground and rolls around, settles next to a few other rocks on the ground.
There's so many rocks here.
There's just so many rocks.
Where did that rock come from?
I don't know. It's insane. Someone would just pick one up to be like, "There's gold in them there rocks." All right, Grants.
Did anyone check these rocks for geodes?
Go ahead, Grants. 2 of them are dead. One of them is still alive. You hear the sounds of creatures to the east in the woods. You realize that they're coming. There's another wave coming. You need to get going. You need to move. You need to take care of this last one that's hanging around. You see that old codger who somehow made it through whatever the hell he made it, is running after you. You look behind you. Nothing but carnage in the wake of that old man.
I'll try and take care of this last one with my magical missiles.
I'm sure this is going to work. Do you want to channel power or anything to make this easier?
I don't think I need to. I just crit failed unluckily.
Okay, sure. I like
that's what you're going with?
Okay, let's do it. Go ahead and roll. Now he's going to turn. Now the missiles themselves are actually arcane rocks. They're like purple and pink, and they're flying. I really wanted you to fail.
Yay.
So it succeeds this time.
All right, roll damage. Yeah. No one's gonna help him out. It's ridiculous. So sad.
Wow. So 17.
All right, that's pretty good. That will move it down. I think that actually moves it 3. What did I just say for the other one? It'll move it 3. So it'll move it down to serious. I'll roll 2d6s. I am good. It's still alive, but it is down. It is Nellie's turn. You could finish it off. Actually, you still have AP if there's anything else you want to do.
Yeah, I'll start running.
Okay, you start running. So you start running in the direction of the town, I assume.
Yeah.
All right, Nellie.
Don't let Adam down in the
Someone-
last
Okay.
I
opportunity.
feel really bad. It's just
I'm
not
gonna grab
happen.
a rock.
Okay, done.
Which just so happens to be the head of
Okay.
the other one.
Okay. I like
And
it.
I'm gonna try and bash this guy's head
Okay,
in.
dropping your mortuary sword, which is forever lost. Got it. All right.
It's not. I did 6 damage.
Okay. Do you want to
One more left.
explode that?
Exploded for damage.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, now you got more. He gave you some more.
I do because of the rock.
Coincidence. Oh, it's coincidence.
I knew what the rock was
Oh.
cooking.
We'll say I got an idea. So we'll say it's a
I
really
rolled a 6,
we'll,
Jeff.
we'll say it's a really, really sharp rock. It's just like got this long and like you thought you were picking up the head, but it's really just this long, sharp rock. And as you slam it into them, their head just explodes. Just explodes with utter horrible
My God.
Yeah. And you're covered in
Okay.
it. It's fantastic. Okay.
I love it.
All
Did I have to drop my mortuary sword? Or do I have
No,
to
I'm not
spend
being
it
a be a
and pick it up?
jerk.
Okay, so I'm going to hustle twice towards
All
Grant.
right, so you and Grant are running hand in hand now, skipping through the meadows together. You found someone to love.
This is so wonderful. That's not going to
Sylvester, Sylvester, you see as emerging from the hedgerows on the east and west side are about a dozen total different creatures just bursting through, coming onto the road, not quite getting within the distance of you. Up ahead, Grant and Nellie, you can see the movement of some kind of creature moving about in the distance, and when it bursts out of the hedgerow, you realize it's a horse carrying one of these figures, and they're throwing stuff down into the actual the crash of the wagon itself. One of them hops off and begins hacking away at one of the 2 people that were left in the wagon when it crashed. We're going to shift into chase rules at this point, I think, as the creatures that are moving around. Hey, Poison Ivy. As the two packs that came from the east and west are behind Sylvester are going to start moving in, and we'll say those are chasing you. We'll do 3 rounds really quickly. So I'll give you all a head start +3 as they're going to chase after you. Remember, we do have a chase button. First round, you all have +3 head start, and we'll see if you can manage to get away from them in that amount of time.
So do we all roll at the same time?
Yeah, that's fine. I already have your initiatives, so just roll your
And what was the head start?
+3, just for the first round only. Greatest night. All right, so we've got Bobbleton at the top with 20. We've got Nelly at 14. We've got Big Sis at 13. Sylvester, click your icon and then click the chase button. Click the icon on Roll20 for your character, and then click chase, please.
Then add 3 in the first pop-up and nothing in the second pop-up.
There you go. Poison,
my-
we've had more crit fails tonight than I think we've had in our year-long podcast campaign. 45 episodes. Ridiculous.
Okay, don't jinx this on that one. Whoa.
Where would the chase button be? I'm confused. I'm
It's
sorry.
the same place it was the last time we used it, so it's
I've
a-
never
The
been.
macro.
it's the
the
map.
I've
macros
never
at the
been in a
bottom.
chase scene.
So it's
The macros at the bottom where the injury buttons are.
Oh, I didn't have it in my
Go
bar.
ahead and
that's
add
why.
it to the bar, and then roll it.
I'm sorry. I've never been in a chase scene.
Well, now you are.
First time for everything.
All right, and now you're gonna die because you are at the bottom, which,
Everybody, wait up!
makes
Wait.
sense. You didn't add the +3 head start, so I got it.
Yeah.
So then
I'm
it's
sorry.
going to be Big Sis who dies. All right. So these creatures then, so you see as the pack breaks through the hedgerows after you just finish just crushing this one creature with like the rock-shaped head thingy that you impaled on his own head. As they come through, they see what happened, and you hear this feral scream that you can't even tell if they look humanoid, and they start chasing after you again. Some of them running on 2, some of them running on all 4s. So they will attempt to. So I'm just going to roll as like one big group. I'm not going to roll for each individual one. So they get no head start, and they only have a value of 11. So that is not good for them. They don't catch up to anybody this turn. I'll roll a complication die since they're the ones furthest back. But no complications arise. As you look over your shoulder, you breeze past the wagon crash. The guy on the horse like turns and looks at you, watches as the packs begin that are running down the path, and shouts something, and you can see that all of the different creatures that were hacking away at the now burning wagon, they stop what they're doing and they begin chasing in you in direction. As you look well ahead, the wagon from the first train, like the first one in the train, has made it through this broken part of the wall that you presume might have been the gate at one point, and is now into the section. You make a decent amount of progress here. It's getting dark, however, as the further away you get from the burning of the hedgerow and the wagon. None of you actually have any lights out currently, and so you're kind of running in the dark a little bit, but you know that's only for so long. But since you're running down down an incline, you can feel the rocks that you're stepping over kind of almost twinge at ankle here and there. Okay, go ahead and do round 2 here. Now, make sure that you punch in your current value. So whatever you rolled prior, so 20 for Grant, 13 for Big Sis, 14 for Nelly and Sylvester. Make sure you punch that in so it adds it up for you.
So head start is 0 this time?
Yeah, but you can just, and anyone, yeah, you can put it in there. There'll be a second pop up for it. You can put it in the head start if you want to. It's all just addition.
Did I do that right?
Yeah, it looks fine. And then, let's see, Big Sis was a 13 before. All right, so what are we at? Now, Grant's way the hell out front. Usain Bolton-ish stuff right here. This little guy with these little feet, these little legs. Gnomes aren't that small. They're not like halflings, but like they're pretty small comparatively. It's way out in front, noping all the way there. Next up is Nelly with a 27. We've got Sylvester, bronze medal, respectable. Big Sith hanging out in the back.
Very fast.
I now get to see if I can catch up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to at this point. Oh! Well,
dear.
Look what just happened as these packs of these creatures just rolled amazingly, and so they're at 27, which means I am in again. These are packs, so I'm gonna go ahead because again I'm not rolling individual because there's too many of them. That would take all night. So I'm gonna roll and have different parts of them begin to zero in on Sylvester and Big Sis, and so I'm gonna attempt takedowns. As you see 3 split off and go towards Sylvester. One's leaping up out of the distance or out of the darkness and trying to take him down. Big Sis, they're diving at your legs. So this will be takedowns on both of you by these underlings. Make it standard is fine. I'll keep that standard. And we'll do coordination. So the one on Sylvester is a fail. The one on Big Sis is a fail. So mad right now. You managed to dodge out of the way.
Oh, yes, I slipped on by him.
You're such an idiot. You're such an idiot. I can't take it. Okay. So the person who is furthest back is Big Sis. Big Sis, roll a d6 complication die for me.
Alrighty.
All right. So, Grant, you're just running super as fast as you can down the hill. I'm not even sure if you're looking over your shoulder at this point. Nelly, you look back and you're trudging along really impressively, by the way, because you're in fairly heavy armor with a big old shield. and you're carrying some dude's head probably. You think it's one of the creatures, but it could have been a passenger. Who really knows? It's dark. And so you're running super fast. You look over your shoulder, and you can see leaping up like off the incline of the hill out of the darkness. This thing dives at Sylvester, scrapes down the shoulder of Sylvester, but somehow this old wily veteran just continues to keep his balance. Big Sis lifts her legs up as one of them dives down at their ankles. You all make a great deal of progress. You realize you are almost to the actual gates at this point. When you look ahead, though, there's no gates. Not only that, but the thing is on fire. You can see that there are fires that are actively burning along the walls off to the east and off to the west of it. You can see that not only have you been attacked along the road, but it seems that whatever this place is has also seen some sort of trouble tonight as well. When you peer through at this great distance, I'll let all of you go ahead and roll an awareness test. Really quick, we'll make this challenging. Go ahead and awareness test so you can see anything else. And then we'll do our last round of the chase scene, see if you make it.
No good.
Okay.
Ooh, Ashley.
Okay, we got a crit
though.
success.
She sees the entire world.
Right.
Show me
Oh,
what-
man.
My elf eyes!
You see so many rocks all over the place. It's crazy. There's just so many. As you
There's
look
brown
forward,
rocks. There's gray rocks. There's some that have little
You-
black speckles in them.
there's little families of rocks everywhere. And so you look forward and you can see that there, when you look through the actual break in the wall, there are probably a dozen or more other wagons and carts that are being maneuvered around inside as if you could see it even at this great distance of maybe 100 yards, that they're kind of, people are moving them in such ways, almost as if to create some kind of defensive wall. I'll say, Sylvester, you also notice as you're looking back and dodging this creature and saying whatever weird thing you say, that suddenly galloping on the horse and getting part of this, you can see one of the other larger creatures, like the one you fought, is on that horse and is chasing after you all as well. Probably not going to catch you, even though they're on that horse. Go ahead and roll chase again. Make sure you add your current totals. So if you've forgotten, Grant's add 34, Nelly add 27, Sylvester 25, and Big Sis 22.
Wait, what number did you say?
You had 34, Grants.
34.
Add it to your roll. Ooh, that's not good, Big Sis. That's
No,
not
it's
good
not.
at all. That's I think you're dead. I think
It's possible.
think you're finally dead. That's not a good roll for Grants either, as Nelly
Yeah.
has caught up to you. And Sylvester, just a running old man, just somehow.
I ain't built for shortness. I'm built for length. So I see you guys later.
He's doing that stereotypical typical where he's like as he's running.
It's about controlling your breathing.
He's doing
Alright?
he's power walking. He's got a fanny pack on. He's like, I go to the mall every
You want
morning.
to put your shoulders back, and when you do that, it kind of the wind gets better into your lungs.
All right, so let me roll for them. Let's see, they had 27. Do I catch anybody?
Please don't.
Oh, I think I definitely will. That 34
Oh my
was super
gosh.
low. All right. So I'm going to be able to make attempts on 3 folks. Only Sylvester. I'll see you folks later.
It's about pacing yourself, okay? You didn't pace yourself at the beginning.
All right. So they split off again, 2 on each, like Christopher Power walking. Oh, the puns. The puns are so good. All right, so I'm going to attempt. So anybody at 42 or under, so that's Nelly, Big Sis, and Grants. Surprisingly, I am shocked. Grants, he's like in the horse terms, like
More of a short distance runner.
just gets out in front and then he fades in the end. Looks like Sylvester's the closer. All right, so we'll go Nelly. This is on you. That's a success. Next one it'll be on Grants. I'm just going around. That's a fail. And then the last one will be on Big Sis. That's also a fail. Nelly, you feel tugging on the back of your armor as if something has clawed its way into one of the plates. You need to roll a resist to take down.
Okay.
So to coordination.
Coordination.
Ooh, I wish I could parry.
Sorry.
It's okay.
No.
Fail.
Of course it is.
Damn it.
And there goes Nelly. Down she goes. No, so you guys are running, and right as you're crossing over what appears to be cobbled stone area, as if you've reached the outskirts of this building, Sylvester, you lightning speed right through this crack in the wall where the gate used to be. You stomp on top of what probably was an old actual wooden gate itself that has been overgrown now with all sorts of moss and vegetation. Grants and Big Sis, you stumble a little bit on top of this strange sudden change in elevation. And when the creatures come swooping in at you, fortunately enough, it's actually that stumble that manages to let you all kind of duck right underneath of their grabs. And as you turn to look, Big Sis, you can see that Nelly trips on the edge of a rock and goes stumbling down to the ground. And these two other creatures dive down on top of her. The three of you, if you want, can continue running into the courtyard, but you can see that Nelly's behind you. What do you guys want to do?
Big Sis is going to go back and try to drag her.
Okay. So Big Sis, what I'll ask you to do is roll an athletics test to try to pull her out, because she's literally been hopped on top of, and these are starting to scrape away, like you've seen these others do left and right. You reach down to get her, and as you go to pull, you hear a crack in your shoulder as she's just too heavy, and with these two creatures on top, you're just trying to pull too much. You'll go ahead and you'll take 11 points of physical peril as I roll a 10, and the exhaustion of it. Sylvester, Grants, what are the two of you doing?
So we can use any action here?
Yeah, we're out of the chase scene at this point. You've reached the end, but Nelly is still outside, so you can either keep running inside this courtyard, or you can turn around to help Nelly and Big Sis if you want. Do what you would like to do. I will say that looking into the courtyard, it's pretty messy in there as well. There's bodies all over the place. You see fights going on, little skirmishes of people fighting with some of these creatures. Some of the walls are on fire. There appears to be a central structure in the middle of the courtyard around which, like, there's been a half circle of these carts and wagons that have been set up like a defensive posture, and people are trying to bottleneck it in. The last of the wagons from your train that had survived is being directed into a position that might actually close the gap and block them off entirely, giving them some kind of defense. You can run for that gap and try to get inside and safe. You can turn around and try to help. You can try to help any of these other skirmishes that are going on. What would you like to do?
I'll do a quick magic cast here. So I'll do the fickle finger of fate flips. Cast fortune favors the bold. And I'll target all my allies or the people that have been running with me, and a couple of other NPCs if they like.
Okay, we'll say there's two others that are nearby. Okay, what are you casting here?
So this is fortune favors the bold, so it gives a little effect here. So I'll cast it.
Do you want to channel, or are you just going to go straight what it is?
Just straight what it is.
Okay.
Standard.
What kind of spell is it?
It's a lesser.
Lesser is standard, because it's petty, lesser, greater.
Oh, crit success. Here we go.
Yay!
What is the critical effect?
The effect of this is all the allies I chose can succeed on a single skill test, and it's an auto crit. But on my crit, you get 3 successful crits on the next 3 skill tests.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm trying to read the description you got in it. So do you get your next 3 auto crits, or does everybody get the effect with a critical success?
See, select a number of allies equal. So I think it's just the allies that I selected. So they'll automatically succeed crits on their next 3 skill tests.
Is this generalist magic, or is this...
This is generalist magic.
You know what we could do? We could go ahead and we can look this up in the new Zweihander Compendium on Roll20, which everyone can get now.
This is divine magic.
That's okay. It's still up here.
Yeah.
It's only Covenant magic that shouldn't be in here because that's Mongosh and they don't have Mongosh stuff up. So it's called Fortune Favors the Bold.
Hmm.
Is it a U? There we go. I found it. All right. So we got Fortune Favors the Bold. It's slowly loading. Okay. So after successfully casting the spell, what's your willpower bonus?
8.
Okay, so it'll hit all the allies, and it's going to hit a bunch of other people as well that suddenly just feel this great bit of vigor running through them. So they will automatically succeed a single test. Now it's as above, but they can automatically succeed on 3 skill tests. So everybody gets the 3 skill tests.
Raid.
That's pretty amazing.
And they're all crits as
So we don't even
well.
have to roll.
Friends who roll dice, aptly titled. Thank you for the raid. Awesome. Friends who roll together die together. They're all probably going to die together here in a minute. But thank you for the raid. Very nice of you.
So we don't even have to roll on this. It just is like, I want to do this, and it happens.
That's what it says to me.
Yep.
Yeah. Automatically succeed on 3 skill tests instead. So you don't have to roll. Just say what you're doing, and it's good. Friends who roll together. Very nice. Thank you so much for the raid. Really appreciate it. Okay. You have like another AP or 2? I think you have 2 AP left if you want to move.
I'll use my last one to run
Okay. Do you want to
hustle
run to help
towards,
Nelly, or do you want to run?
towards the gates.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
run away from me.
You're running through the tunnel of the gates. You get past it. You're in the courtyard now. You look over to your right. You look over to your left. You see there's people on the ground. There's bodies. There's bodies of these creatures. There's bodies of what you imagine are the locals, traders. You can see all sorts of stalls and goods. There's a variety of like goats and sheep that have also been slaughtered or on the ground. There's fires going up the walls. But there's that central defensive area. You hear as like an arrow gets shot out from somewhere behind it. People start calling out, over here, over here, and like they're kind of waving you in, like this is sort of the safety area. You can see a couple people nearby are trying to drag a cart to help block that last little bit. So you just keep running, and you are now in the midst of everything. You're able, smart enough to roll to run to the point where nothing is going to immediately attack you, and you're just like using the chaos of the moment to get going. All right. So we've got Sylvester. What do you want to do?
So kind of recap. Nellie's back with Big Sis, and Big Sis failed picking her up and dragging her.
Yes.
That's correct. Not only that, she seems to have gotten hurt and gotten caught up there. You feel a strange sense of confidence wash over you, Sylvester. Like, yeah, I feel like I'm 27 again. Or whatever your
I feel like 2 turtles in a river.
This is gonna be the whole thing. This is what it's gonna be.
I don't want to. I mean, if I leave them, they're gonna die, right?
I mean, we'll
Not
see.
if we also try and leave.
Oh, because they're gonna have successes, so they'll be fine. All right, so I'm gonna make a run for the gap, try and make my way in, and I'll do that.
Okay. So
And on my way in,
okay.
I will.
Chip of the cat.
But before I go in, so we won't do that first. First AP. Now I'm thinking about it. All right. I'm gonna set a trap.
You just let us know when you're ready.
I'm gonna set a trap.
You're gonna set a trap
for the because I'm a trapper. Set a trap for the guys coming up because
Like-
I can. That's
You're gonna undo like a bear trap or something on the ground.
well. It says that for it's a trap, you automatically spot hidden traps without having to make skill
It's
tests.
spotting it though. I thought
But it says furthermore, you may flip the result to succeed a skill test
to disarm.
to create
Oh.
and disarm.
But I don't know if this is probably the time to do it. I don't because like a turn is like 10 seconds or so. So it's like, well, look at here. I'm just gonna put this together.
I'm super shield.
You're gonna take a really sharp rock and like put
No.
some dirt over it, so then they like step on it and hurt
No,
themselves.
as I'm running.
Pocket marbles.
Okay.
No, I got gunpowder.
to-
I got jars that I put stuff in.
Okay. I don't know. What do the rest of you think? Does this sound at all feasible? Ashley
If there's
says
something
no.
you can drop while you're running,
Yeah, like
as you
I'm
keep
running.
going?
As I'm running, I'm putting the stuff in the bottle. I'm dipping,
Okay.
I'm dumping the piss out. and
Okay.
putting
You just go a little too far every time. Just go right up to the line and say, I'm stepping across you. All right, this is what I'll say. You're running in. You can go ahead and turn around and throw a jar of, I don't know, whatever you got, like teeth, from your kills or something.
It's like gunpowder teeth,
so it's like
and
it's like jacks that are on the ground, so someone's gonna run through. Okay, okay.
You can't forget it's also filled with rocks.
It's okay. I hate you. So you're gonna throw a jar of rocks behind you.
That's
and
all
you're successful. You're throwing a jar. Success. You got it. You turn around. You throw a jar of rocks.
This'll get them.
We got them. Come on in. And if they crit, they won't crit fail because they got success. All right, Nelly, you haven't actually got to go, so go ahead.
Got a fortune for that.
There you go. You gave it to him. All right, Nelly, what are you doing?
I want to like, get out of this.
Oh gosh! All right, you are currently being pinned to the ground by these two. So because you succeed on any 3 skill tests, I would have probably asked for like an athletics test to sort of shove off them and get up, which you automatically succeed at. And so you can spend 2 AP to get up off the ground.
Okay.
And then you've got 1 AP left.
I'll just hustle.
And you hustle through, and so the 2 AP of getting up, you kind of step forward, crawl a little bit, get up. They reach after you, and you just shove them off, still somehow clinging to that shield. Because you went with heater, right? The one that straps around your arm. I told you. Otherwise, I would have said that shit falls. But you run through, and all of a sudden, there's just all these rocks all over the place. Why are there rocks on the ground right here? And there's like shattered glass and
rocks
stuff.
And glass everywhere. What the hell?
You're smart enough, however, not to step on them, and so you run around. But you are behind still. Okay. So So we're gonna kind of sort of resituating back into initiative here. So all of you have gone. I'm going to let these creatures now go. As they're going to come swarming in, you're going to see about a dozen of these start to swarm in through that central tunnel. 2 of them are going to go right for Nelly. The rest are going to start splitting up and going like they're in pairs, finding different people to go to. Not only that, but Nelly, as you look behind, you can see that there's one on a horse, and there's others that are slowly following. There's a whole group of them. There's people shouting, like, "Get in here before we got to close it!" Something like that. And you look over, and you can see where Grants is running to. There's this small little point where you can kind of slide in between these wagons. But nonetheless, these 2 are going to attempt to... they're going to attempt to take... one of them is going to attempt to take down on you, to try to tackle you down to the ground once more. So do coordination really fast. That'll fail, and then both of them will go ahead and make attacks at you as well as you're running away. That's a success, and that's a fail. You turn around the parry, obviously, but you automatically succeed on that parry. So that's your second skill test that you've automatically succeed on. You have 1 left as you just clunk it to the side and it goes like kind of stumbling past. Let's see. Big Sis, you were kind of further back as well. So I'm gonna say 2 of them get to you. They won't be able to actually do 2 things because they would have had to spend extra AP to catch up with you. But we'll say that both of them will attempt. One of them will attempt to take down on you, and the other will attempt to probably attack you, depending on how this goes. So they'll try to like tackle you to the ground from behind. Will succeed. Your reaction, your resist will automatically succeed. So that's a success for you. And then the other one will go ahead and attempt to swing at you, hack away at your back as a claw rakes down, and you can feel like it feels like metal. Strangely enough, that's success. However, I can't explode anymore on any more misfortune, and we know that doesn't hit your damage threshold. At this point, we're going to go back to the top of the round. Sylvester, you are actually at the top of the initiative order, but I'm going to let Grants go first because he kind of started all of this. So Grants, you are, we'll say, 1 hustle away from getting through into whatever enclosure they have there.
All right, let's do it. I'll make sure to keep an eye out for any other potential threats.
So you start running through. Oh, they're all over. There's no reason to keep an eye out. They are literally everywhere. This place is swarming with dozens and dozens of them. You see people up on like ramparts and stairs that are still fighting them. You see people on the ground that are getting hacked to bits. You see a couple of the bodies of these creatures as well. It's not like this has been just a wholesale like one, but it's definitely an outnumbering going on. When you dive in between, someone just grabs you and pulls you and come on, friend, and they just kind of pull you in. You can see there's about a dozen or more people in here, kind of all huddling. A few people occasionally are kind of loading up like a hunting bow, nothing military, and they're like stepping out and firing, almost just at whatever. A few of them whiz past Big Sis as she's fighting off these two. One of them clinks off of Nellie's shield. It's like, oh, sorry, same team. But you turn around, they're be like, just settle down there, friend, settle down. Do you do anything? You have 2 more AP if there's anything you want to do.
Yeah, I'll see if I can help just keep the defense going. So whatever's nearby, I'll throw some rock.
Okay.
No forged throwing knives.
Okay, so go ahead. What the hell was that? Go ahead and you find a target. Chuck a knife. Go ahead and roll your attack. Okay, and it just doesn't quite hit. Stabs some local in the back, and they turn at you and like, I'm coming for you next, son. And that's that. All right. Now we'll go back to Sylvester. What do you want to do?
Make my way into the barricade.
Come running in. Like, come on, old man. Let's go. Hustle. We got to close this. They're trying. You can see that they're trying to like maneuver the wagon from your train that survived and one of their basic carts together to just block everything off.
Are the girls going to make it?
I don't know. We'll have to see. And they're women, Justin.
Sorry.
I still have one skill,
two
skill successes left. So.
Okay.
Then I'm going to get in there and I'm going to spend the next 2 AP to reload my gun.
Okay. Done. Big Sis, you got 2 on you. What do you want to do? You can run and make it.
Run.
Yeah,
or you can
that's
stay
what
and
I'm
fight.
gonna do. No, I'm gonna run.
All right. So you run. Not only you're
He's
leaving
like,
Nelly
are you
behind.
Sure you want to run?
I'm positive.
All these other people getting hacked to bits around you, and you're like, you know what? That's on you. And you keep going.
Is she gonna be
This
able
is
to
your
make it?
conscience.
Because
I
she's
don't
running,
know.
right?
We'll see. I don't know. Her turn.
Ashley, are you running?
No, that's not how this works. You gotta you do yours, Big Sis. You do yours. What do you want to do?
I'm running.
What?
Okay.
I'll mute you on Zoom.
No. I was actually asking if you were already running or if you were currently under.
Well, I already did 1 hustle, so I'm already
You've got
ahead
one
in the
success.
process of running.
You got
Okay.
one of those auto successes left.
Yeah. As long as you were in the process of running, then I will go ahead and run.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 3 AP running.
Okay, and you probably don't need all of those to get in. Like as you run in, you keep running. You know, like you don't gotta keep going.
She just hits the wall.
Get up to the line. And so, like as you come running in, they start pointing out places that like they're setting up people, and you can see that there's people kind of in this circle. There's this central. It's like a tower, but the top has been lopped off over time, and they've created this half circle around it. You can see that there's families and people inside at the bottom of the tower kind of huddling close, and then there's others like yourselves that are in that kind of semicircle that are finding spaces. Some of them again are shooting bows and arrows. Some of them are throwing rocks with slings. All sorts of different things are happening. And so they kind of point you out to a position that you can be in. You can either run inside and hide with the children, or you can stay outside and try to fight. What do you want to do? This is on you, Big Sis.
Keep running.
You're going to run inside and hide with the children, or do you want to stay outside and sort of occupy a position in this semicircle defense of wagons and carts?
Yeah, defend.
Okay.
Sorry, my personal instinct to save this character overrode what the character.
I just picture like a little room with a bunch of children like, you guys okay?
No, she'll take up a defensive position and be
Okay, fair
heroic.
enough. I was going to throw
It's
so
pretty
much
crazy
corruption
out
at
there,
you.
huh, guys?
It's like that's 52 corruption. Just take 52 corruption. Nelly, you're running.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up
All right.
next to defend.
Okay, you get inside. Roll an athletics test. Oh, it succeeds. You help at the last second pull the cart, and so now there's literally no way through except that they were to climb over top of this cart, and everyone's kind of pointing at it. over the course, so we're going to break initiative here for a moment and sort of resolve some of this. So over the course of a little bit of time, it's hard to really tell. Everything's happened so fast. A variety of these creatures come running at you all and trying to climb over. They get shot and they scream out in pain and they hop down. A couple other folks start throwing like these lit bottle bombs or something like lit lanterns that just kind of explode, catching some of them on fire. You keep pulling things closer so that eventually you can't even see across unless you climb up. You can hear all sorts of horrible screams of people being kind of cut apart, and you can hear the strange feral howls of whatever these creatures are. After some time, you hear a horn begins to sound, and another horn, and everyone who is out kind of manning the kind of the occupied area, like they start telling others to back up into the tower, and like a couple beats pass, hearts are racing, and then after a certain point, you start looking between those of you that are still out defending. You look between whatever you can. You climb up to the top of a wagon, try to look out, see between the canvas that's set up, or you try to crawl up the cart, and you can see that there's like a retreat happening. And over the course, this all happens over the course of like an hour or two into the dark night. And after a certain point, you stop really hearing the scraping and the hustle and the kind of rustling of these creatures trying to climb and burst through, as if like the attack has been called off. You still hear a handful of people kind of like shouting in pain, but then those two start to die out as well. And then some people are arguing to go back out. You see these different groups of locals. They're kind of fighting with each other about whether to open up, and a few folks are just not letting anyone pass. And eventually, as like the sun starts to peek out, as the dawn begins to come, they finally break open their little defensive posture and start pulling the wagons and carts away. And there's just a little tiny faint bit of light coming in from the east, where the sun comes up of the Grunston Mountains to the east. All of you probably were manning stuff, didn't get a good night's sleep, so no peril refresh yet. What do you all want to do? Like, people have been on edge, like weapons ready. What do you feel like doing?
I want to go out and make sure that the coast is actually clear.
Okay.
Yeah, agreed. And see if just what else is out there.
Yeah, like what sort of just mayhem.
Yeah, because I would want to probably check on the wagons, like what happened to all them.
As you slowly start moving out, others go with you. You don't really know them yet. Maybe a quick word here or there. It's just sort of in the foxhole together type of thing. No time for small talk. You start looking around, and there's carnage. Signs of carnage everywhere. Some of the fires are still burning the moss along the walls of this fort. You can see big black smudges where it's already died off and gotten the stones themselves covered in grime. You can see signs clearly of fighting. You see the ground itself is part cobblestone, part just earth that has overtaken it, soaked in blood. You can see weapons that have been broken and left some still intact. You see signs of people getting dragged. You see signs of hoof prints in the ground. You see absolutely no bodies anywhere. Neither the creatures that were attacking you, some of which you know that you killed or attacked at some point. And when you were running in and you were looking around, you see no bodies of any of the locals that you saw getting caught out beyond the defenses. You see nothing. There's clear signs that they have been dragged away, but nothing else. And I think that's what we'll go ahead and stop for tonight, because it's already been.
Oh
God.
my goodness!
That was intense. That was like a super intense 2.5 hour opening. That's pretty great.
How did Long not die? That's my question.
He used two fate points. I got 2 fate points from him in like 20 minutes. That was great. Oh man, I loved it when you crit failed. That was so good. That was
when all of us crit
so
failed
good.
all night.
The crit fails. I mean, we should at one point we should go back and count because there were so many.
Luck's in the cards.
I'll tell you, those crit fails really kind of like threw some stuff for a loop too, like because like there's other things that could happen. But I told you I wanted to start this one off with a bang. We haven't even like you guys haven't really talked yet or anything.
No, right into.
I told you I wanted to try it. I wanted to start it off with a bang. Thank you, Adam. It rocked. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. There's no way you like. I give these guys all like personal missions and stuff to help do augment, but there was no way that you were completing them since
Was mine to almost die?
No.
Would you say I protected someone from?
But you didn't do the
death?
other half, so there's no way that you could just like each one of you.
But
guys
I'm like halfway.
Sure, yeah. But I will go ahead and I will give you 200 reward points that you all can get in advancement for next week, so that it's not like you got nothing. These aren't long-term campaigns. Oh, geez. Now he's making Stone Sour references. Oh, God. They're... I don't know. Like I thought that when they were in the wagon, a couple of them fell out. I thought that they were between a rock and a hard place, but they somehow found a way. There we go.
I was really hoping that whole skiing maneuver was going to work, but
you tried.
It looked cool in my head.
If you pass that, I don't even know.
Sylvester just, oh my God. Okay, so let's see. Let's close down shop for tonight.
We appreciated the coincidence for sure.
Thank you to everyone who hung out and watched. Thank you for all of the raids tonight. We really appreciate it. Hope some of you stuck around. So Friends Who Rolled Dice, Party Wipe Games. It was really nice. Who else was it? Open for Adventure. So we'll definitely try to return the favor when we can sometime in the future. If you are hanging around tomorrow, I believe tomorrow on this channel, Zweihander RPG, I think Matt is back with The Enemy Within. I think that's tomorrow night. So you can check that out at 9 p.m. Central, where he continues his Zweihander game. And then on Saturday, I know that Chuck from Defenders of Cobalt on this same channel, also at 9 p.m. Central, is running... Is it not you tomorrow, Matt? Is it somebody else? Oh, man. Did I get it wrong? It's not Bloody Marches, because Chuck was Bloody Marches last week, I think. Saturday, Chuck is running a special little game of Zweihander for some of the Grim and Perilous folks, so you can come over here on Saturday, same time, 9 p.m. Central. For us, if you want to catch us on Saturday before watching Chuck and the other folks play some Zweihander, you can come over to our channel, twitch.tv/the Lollygaggers. We'll be playing at 6 Pacific, 6 Central, and so we'll be done with our stream before they start, probably because we usually go 2 to 2.5 hours, and so they don't conflict at all. And then next Monday, you can catch us at 9 p.m. Central on twitch.tv/the Lollygaggers, and you can watch more of our Heart game, which is great. And next week from today, all Thursdays, every Thursday, 9 p.m. Central, come back for more of the Unsettled STEM. So that's it.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. So have a good night, everybody.
have a good night.
Oh no.
I hate you. Why did I invite Justin?